it, and then on the meter there, and then if it happens, I'll just undo it. It's that one right there, the one that says audio
So
input
if it goes
capture.
red before you
If
see
it goes
if I
dead,
see
yeah,
it?
yeah.
Okay.
If it goes dead, and we're live too, by the way.
Oh,
yeah. Wait, what did I just say? Did I say something stupid?
I don't know. I don't think so. I think
No,
we're
I
good.
think we sounded
But yeah,
really-
I think we're good there. And so appreciate you, Raider Nation.
Yeah.
I appreciate you. Just a little bit of a hiccup there. Sorry about that, guys. The chat room. So I don't know if it starts a new thing.
I think so.
Does it do a brand new
Yeah, 'cause
like?
here's it- yeah.
Let's see here. Okay, let me bring that back up.
Intel says take two, Super Deuce, Hooligan
Hey,
Nation.
there we go.
Bio
Okay.
Paul.
Okay, good deal. Good deal. So let's see. Hold on. Bear with me. I'm just bringing everything back up here. And okay. All right, there we go. Sorry about that, guys. So, anyways.
Hey!
We're live with Domenico's.
Hey!
Yeah.
Let's go.
So, hey, Vinny, come over here and say hi. So, come over to the microphone and say hi. So we are at the fantastic Domenico's Italian Deli in beautiful downtown Murfreesboro. It's an absolutely gorgeous day out here on the square, and so proprietor of Domenico's, Jeff Murphy, who had to step away for a half a second. There he is. Had to step away for a half a second, and so while we're here at Domenico's and while Jeff opened up the doors, we asked if Vinny could get his shift today because Vinny's now working at Domenico's for his summertime job. What is it like working in here at the deli, son? How do you like it?
It's really good. I get a free sandwich every shift, so that's a nice bonus.
That's a win for you, right? That's a big W.
Absolutely, yeah.
Huge W.
Yeah. So how about what would you say to some of the folks that probably haven't seen you since you were this tall and had long blonde hair? Because you probably haven't been on the show in a couple of years, huh?
It's been a while.
Like Paul, I know, said hi to you, and a lot of people were saying hi. YO's in there saying hi. So we want to say hi to Raider Nation.
Well, what do I want to say?
What would you say to Raider Nation? All the people looking at you right now.
I mean, it's been too long. Honestly, I missed it.
Oh, nice. Well,
Yeah.
good deal.
Yeah,
Well, welcome back, and thanks for filling in your boss's seat there for a second.
Well, yeah, of course.
All right, now, get the hell out of here and go back to work.
Jeff Murphy's about to get a baking sheet. Get Vinny.
Shades of Uncle Mark.
Absolutely. Well, anyways, we appreciate you, Raider Nation, and thanks, Jeff, for opening the doors to us.
Absolutely.
Yeah, much
today
respect.
to do a live show. Yeah,
I
thank you so
appreciate
much.
you guys.
So the reason for those of you that actually care, the reason that we're doing is live from the deli, other than we'd love to do a live show at the deli, which we did last year as well, but we're still working on Fan Cave 2.0. We're still not there quite yet for the next version of the Fan Cave, but we'll be coming to you soon, hopefully. And so, anyways, we'll be doing a completely live redo there in the Fan Cave. But anyways, before I get to talking anymore, let's go ahead and throw it around the room a little bit. And first off, I'd like to welcome in my best friend and yours from the eastern annex of the
Domenico's
Deli Desk. My best friend and yours, Swag Jeff.
Hey, man.
It's styling and profiling.
You damn right, man. It's so good to be here. So fired up for a freaking live show. My gosh, we did Murph and I did a rundown last week, but I mean, I feel like it's been a million years, and I mean, immediately I'm gonna throw it to my right. Our best friend and yours, Michelle Sweat.
Hey, Michelle. I'm looking for it. Hold on, I don't have it.
Oh my gosh.
Keep talking.
I think it has been a million years. I think you're dead on.
Right
Like
on the money,
timing.
yeah.
A million years.
I think
Yeah.
it's been 27 days since we did a live show.
Oh, my gosh.
Is it
almost a
really?
month.
Yeah, because when I filled out the format, it was 5-3, and I just added a 0 to it to 5:30.
Oh, well, there you go.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
there you
yeah.
go.
Dang. Well, it's good to be here.
Wow.
Yeah,
Definitely
good to have you,
be
Michelle.
here.
And
Yeah,
so
glad
you
to be
got new hair.
I have new hair, yeah. So we're going to light for the summer, because it's summer.
Yep.
So I had to go with my summer color, which won't last long because it's so light. So my hair's really dark.
Well, it looks good. And for the audio listener,
got it on
Michelle,
Friday.
Michelle's got her lighter pink hair
It's
going
the
on
light
today.
pink.
Coral,
Well,
and
and I see
peachy,
like a little blonde streak kind of in there
Of an
too.
ombre
I
in
dig it.
there.
It's
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
solid.
Davina, my
Solid.
girl, she always kills it.
There you go.
That's the color. That's
So
the color.
speaking of killing it, so thanks everyone again for joining this live show of Raiders Fan Radio, and this one's got a little bit of stank on it. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
It
Vinny's
does-
here.
I said stank, not stink.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
stink.
yeah.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah,
All right,
so
I got you, I
yeah,
got
so
you.
the stank that's on it because it's here at Raiders Fan Radio we all promote the One Nation Foundation, right?
Yes,
You know,
yes.
we live and breathe the One Nation Foundation, and tonight we have something special.
Wait
for
a
you.
minute.
Wait,
There's somebody else here.
There's
Oh,
somebody
I thought
else.
you already introduced him.
No.
What the hell are you doing?
I just thanked him for letting us be here.
Well, you should have
Now
Like,
we got to promote his business. We got to promote his podcast.
Now we gotta start
Let's
it
talk
all
about him
the
like he's
way
not even
over.
here.
Well, promote that shit then. What are we waiting
I
on?
thought we were both Jeffs, Swaggy.
Appreciate you.
That hurts.
Appreciate you
That
being
hurts.
here, QB Jeff.
No, it's all good, man.
Oh my gosh. QB Jeff, tell us about a little bit about Domenico's Deli, which thank you again for opening up the doors, but also tell us about your great podcast, The Group of Five Guys, and what that has to do with college football.
No, absolutely. Appreciate you guys having me, and I'd open this up anytime you guys need it. So, but yeah, Domenico's Italian Deli originated in Alameda, California. So if you're in the East Bay, Oakland, San Jose, anywhere that area, a short drive over to the mothership location on Webster Street.
Nice.
And then a few years back, I opened one up here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. So if you ever come to Nashville, you want
you
another
go.
good
Yep.
sandwich, you can come see me down here. So, and then, yeah, my podcast, me and my buddies that have played college football at Middle Tennessee, just right down the road, started a podcast, and we cover the Group of Five conferences in college football. So a lot of these guys that we were looking at in the draft a few weeks back, a lot of the guys that don't get talked about but eventually end up being some of the top players in the NFL, Devante Adams, for example.
There you go.
Group of Five guys. So if you want
Max Crosby.
yeah, Max Crosby are two top players, literally,
Yeah.
on our team. But yeah, if you're looking for any good content in college football, at Group of Five Guys on all the social medias. We've got a show on YouTube as well and all your podcast streaming applications. So check us out.
And yeah, check him out and definitely support him, Raider Nation. And also, too, you guys are doing a lot of road trips and stuff this year, too, right? Which is super cool.
Yeah, so we're trying to each year we try and go all over the country to different Group of Five campuses and check out a tailgate and check out the games and give our kind of synopsis and spread the word about this good college football that's being played about that ESPN and CBS that nobody ever talks about.
Yeah,
So,
right.
Shoot, if we're coming to your town, love to meet up with any fellow Raider fans while we're painting the town the night before or tailgating if you're a fan of that school. So let me know and we'll link up.
Heck yeah, that's awesome, man. So thank you again. Definitely check out their podcast, Raider Nation, and support what QB Jeff and the Group of Five Guys are doing. And definitely, if you find yourself in Middle Tennessee or if you're in the East Bay, go check out Domenico's Italian Deli. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. Okay, so let's go. Oh, so this is episode number 289. Swag Jeff, do you have an episode number, or do you want to get back into what you were talking about there? The special.
I want to know what the stank
mean,
is.
You want to know what the steak was?
No, man. You tell me what you want me to do.
You just take over now.
The
But now that everybody's been introduced,
Now that everyone's over, now it's the Swag Jeff show.
and the audio's working, and so
Everything's
everybody's
good.
looked at Vinny like I'm
Good.
there you go.
Good.
I'm good now.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
hey,
this is the point of the show where Uncle Mosh would tell me, "Cool it, Hot Rod."
yeah, well,
Yeah.
easy there, hot dog.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so episode 289. So I'm going to hit that first. I'm going to tag that because much respect to our buddy T-Hom that once again hit us up with a couple, and he hit me up with one and two of them. So I have two for you. So every episode number, episode 289, I take a significant moment within Raider Nation, relate it back to the episode number, and this one I have two. So the first one, we're going way back. We're going all the way back to the beginning.
Oh, like 1960?
1960, the inaugural season for the Raiders and the AFL. Tight end Gene Prebola was Tom Flores' third most targeted receiver. Prebola caught 33 passes for 404 yards and 2 touchdowns, averaging 28.9 yards per
Oh,
contest.
nice.
Absolutely.
That guy sounds like a paisan
I was
too.
going to say he's got to be
There you
into
go.
the valve.
There you go. So that was the first season of the Raiders. Well, then, so this next one, we're going to go to season 60. The last season in Oakland, we're going to 2019, and we're going to be talking about Derek Carr and the Oakland Raiders. So this game is it's the only game I've been to Oakland.
Oh, 2019 against the Lions.
Against the Lions, the 31-24 win over the Lions. Derek Carr threw 289 yards in that game.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
So much respect, Derek.
Including that absolute dime to Hunter Renfro in the corner of the end zone to win the game, man. That was money.
Hunter toe tap, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. So before we move on too much, I want to talk about the stank that we had on this
Oh,
episode.
yeah.
So
let's
each
do
and
it.
every so for the summer, it's the summer of swag, right? So we are
Yes.
going to be auctioning off or raffling off this beautiful white Howie
Love it.
Long Nike
Oh, my
game
gosh.
jersey,
That's
man.
big time.
That's big time, dude.
She's a beaut.
She's a beaut, man. It comes with a certificate of authenticity, and dude, we have so many people that have donated already.
Yeah, tell them about that, how they can donate early.
So we kind of made the call out on the last episode of the rundown and stuff like that, talked about that. So if you would like to get poker chips, especially for the audio listeners, we thank each and every person that does the super chats and all that kind of stuff. But especially for the audio listeners, if you just listen on the audio, but you want to get in the mix and get some of these jerseys, man, just hit us up on the PayPal. Go to onenationfoundation.net, click the donate link, and you can make straight donations to the foundation. Email us, Murf at Raiders Fan Radio, Swag at Raiders Fan Radio Show, and any of those ones that wherever you get to us, hit us up on that and let us know that you made that donation, because we get 100% of that money.
Yes,
So
no
we get
Google
100%.
cut on that.
Yeah, Google doesn't get their cut on that. We get 100% of that, and we already have $420 donated tonight. Yeah, that's big time, man.
That is.
Big time for
That
sure.
is
So
amazing.
Big Shane, Jay Will, Scotland's own David Love, Wyoming Raider, Patricia Moya, and Jason Hunter all hit us up pre-show, got in the mix. So there's 6 poker chips already out on the table. But yeah, every $10 donation tonight gets you 1 poker chip into the running to win that Howie Long jersey. And it's all
Show it again.
Absolutely, I will.
Yeah.
So all to the One Nation Foundation. Look at this right here. And this
It's
also
so freaking awesome.
and this is not like your typical signed jersey that you get, because this is like a game jersey.
Yeah.
It's an extra large Nike game jersey, just like the shit that
It's
we
a
wear.
$100 jersey you
It's
get
a
from
$100 jersey
freaking
in
Raider Image.
itself.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
So get in the mix, man. Get you some of this, man.
That's
Let's set
awesome.
a record tonight.
That's awesome, man. Good stuff there, Swaggo. We appreciate all of those of you that are in the chat room. Michelle, who all do we got in the chat room tonight?
All right, we got the Mangus brothers are in there. Daniel and Matthew. Wyo's in there. Paul's in there. Edgar.
Paul?
Paul.
Paul.
Volk. I don't know who that is, but I don't like what they're saying.
Uh-oh.
Hey.
Someone going to get regulated?
No, they're saying traders. Really, with a lot of F's. So,
jeez.
yeah, whatever. Jay's in there. Mojo, of course. I said Paul. Anthony's in there. Got a lot of people in there.
Awesome.
What else we got? Yeah, Super Deuce is in there. Mr. Wilson. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate you all so very, very much joining us for this live show, coming at you from Domenico's Italian Deli. And we've got lots and lots of Raider stuff to get to tonight. So just bear with us as we go through it. Oh, the phone's ringing. Get that, Vinny.
Answer the phone.
Jeez, what are you doing back there? So let's go ahead and I don't have breaks, I guess, really. I don't think I have. Can I play a
just-
break?
I mean,
Like,
I mean, you can, or you can just turn it to one of us.
okay.
Hey, everybody, it's Swag Jeff from Raiders Fan Radio. You're listening to Murph, Swag Jeff, Michelle, and QB Jeff on Raiders Fan Radio. Just win, baby.
That was really good.
Wow.
That's a hell of a live
like
read.
That was a
There
good
you
one.
go.
recorded
It's like
that.
I've done
That
this
was
shit before, right?
That's right.
All right, what you got, Murph?
Uh-oh.
Huh?
What you got?
Follow that, bitch.
Hey.
And no, I wasn't just talking to myself in the first person. It's because Jeff Murphy is his nickname is Murph as well. They call you
Yeah.
Murph on your
Yeah.
show. So so to avoid confusion, we don't both go by Murph on the show. So he goes by QB Jeff because we have 2 Jeffs and 2 Murphys
There you
between
go.
3 people.
Yeah, and if you get my sister in here, then we got 2
Oh, we got
Michelles
two
too.
I know,
Michelle's.
right?
Man,
We
that
really
was
get
a show
confusing.
right
Oh
there.
my gosh! All right, so good stuff there. All right, so well, here at the top of the show, I know what we can do.
What do we do?
We can give a little bit of respect. We don't do props. We don't do shout outs. There's nothing wrong with those things, but we're Italian, so we like to give a little bit of respect.
Murph, Swaggy J, Nation, it's time for a little respect. You know, respect ain't bought, it ain't sold, it ain't demanded, it ain't negotiated, it's earned. And without blowing smoke or giving shameless plugs, we want to say salute and much respect to the following folks.
Who needs a sandwich? Man, that mortadella goes perfect with that music. Oh, nice.
Oh my gosh, that's
was wonderful.
That's so fun.
So good.
So here,
Our subscribers just went down.
of course it did. Yeah.
That would make them go up. I don't believe it would.
Well, yeah.
So here, this is probably a little bit on the nose, but here it is. Just and for those of you that are listening to us abroad, here in the United States, we celebrate Memorial Day on Monday, and to pay respect to all of those that have sacrificed and given the ultimate sacrifice in defense of our freedoms, for all the wonderful things that we're able to enjoy in this greatest country that's ever existed. And so we just want to say much, much respect and thank you to all of those men and women that made that sacrifice, and also to the families, and that live with that and everything that goes on around it. Yes, we get a day off and everybody cooks out and we get together and we have the time together and time spent together. But really, I hope that we all use that time as well to reflect back on those that have given the ultimate. And so yeah, just that's it. A simple respect on that one, guys. I don't. You want to make any mention of it, Jeff, or
No, I
any of
mean,
you guys?
it's something that, we had dinner yesterday, and I told my kids about it. I was like, the
Perfect.
reason why
Yep.
we're celebrating this is for the men and women who died to allow us to, have the freedoms that we have in this country, and God bless them and their families.
Absolutely. All right, so good stuff there. So we again, couldn't say better than Jeff just did just there. All right, so let's go ahead. Hey guys, I don't have like good transition music or
Hey, you know what?
IDs. So
I have a
so
I have a
please.
respect that I want to tag.
Do it.
Can I do that? I mean,
Please.
it's not as amazing as Memorial Day and the men and women that have given the ultimate sacrifice, but I do want to give respect to the Las Vegas Golden Knights.
Oh
Vegas
There you go.
Golden Knights.
Yeah.
So we're here in Middle Tennessee. So we're all Nashville Predator fans, but we salute fellow Raider or Vegas teams as the Las Vegas Golden Knights are in the Stanley Cup final. That's like 2 out of the last 4 years for them.
Yeah, bananas.
So
for an expansion team, that's solid.
go all the way, man. Get it done. And Mark Davis, take notes. And this is how you do it. This is how you do it.
There you go.
Just win, baby.
Just win, baby. Good stuff, Swagger. All right. Let's talk about the Raiders.
Let's do that.
Are we supposed to do that on this?
Great idea.
Man, I've got certain information, all right? Certain things have come to light, and, given the nature of all this new shit, this could be a lot more complex. I mean, it might not be just such a simple,
What in God's holy name are you blathering about?
Well, I'll tell you what I'm blathering about. I've got information, man. New shit has come to light.
Hey, what's up? This your homeboy Ice Cube, the president of the Raider Nation. It was a good day. You know why? Because it's that time of the year. Time for the schedule to be released. And you know where I'm going to be? I'm going to be in that Death Star. Where you going to be? And you remember this. There's 31 teams in the NFL. And then there's the Raiders.
Let's go. That fires me up, man.
Let's
That
go,
fires me up.
dude.
So we've got a few things to talk about around the schedule. So the schedule got released, as we all know, and we're talking about this. I know that it's probably semi-familiar news to you, Raider Nation, but we hadn't talked about it yet since we've been on a live. So I want to kind of run down the schedule and some of the highlights and some of the games that are on here. First off, one of the things that I noticed right away is that there's only one preseason game that's going to be at Allegiant Stadium. Yep. That's going to be against the freaking stupid Niners, and so being that there's only one home game for preseason, and it's also coincides with the event that our One Nation Foundation has now sponsored. We sponsored the Raider Dad folks, which is, I'm so thankful that we were able to do that. That was the first group that we were able to endorse this year, outside of course, what's coming up with the Bolitnikovs. But that's your money, Raider Nation. The money that we're raising here tonight. I saw a couple donations have come in the chat there. I'll leave those to Jeff to shout out. But all that money goes to Raiders-related charities like the Bolitnikovs, and then also including now Raider Dad. So Raider Dad takes underprivileged kids that don't have the ability to go to Allegiant Stadium and the ability to share in a game with their families. And that's what's so cool about what Raider Dad does, is that it's not about just like taking kids to a game in one big giant group. They're doing it with their families. It started off with the title Raider Dad, but it's moms and dads and grandparents and whoever those parental figures are in those kids' life. And so anyway, so the One Nation Foundation is supporting that event, and that is that first preseason game against the Niners. So Jeff and I are headed, Swag Jeff and are headed out for that. And
Yeah.
thankfully, we're going to be able to see this thing in action and see our buddy Josh from Raider Dad and what all the good that the Raider Dad folks are doing. So that one really jumped out at me because that's the very first game for the Raiders this year. So we're going to finally see, Tyree Wilson. We're going to see these guys, in their Raider uniform for the first time. Preseason, yes, the outcome of the games can be anticlimactic, but I really like watching the position battles unfold. I really like to see what coaching choices are going on. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Do you guys get takeaways like that, Jeff?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, being able to see some of the guys that might be on the cusp of either making the team or trying to be, second string or maybe making a jump to being a starter or a guy that's going to get a lot more playing time. It's fun, especially in the, towards the right before the season, the third game is where you should see a lot of those position battles possibly, make a difference in some players. But
Yeah.
I do like watching the preseason.
If Josh Jacobs signs his tender, do you think he'll play in the preseason like
Not a
they
chance.
did to him last year?
No, I don't think he,
That was crazy watching him in the
Yeah.
preseason last year.
yeah, that was nuts.
How about you, Michelle? Do you like watching preseason games at all?
Yeah, I mean, I like watching it because I don't think as much attention to like each individual guy, but it's like that charge up to the season. So anytime I can watch football, I'm
Yeah.
So I love the preseason.
Any other game on there, Swagga? So the other two, we've got. Well, I'll leave you to shout them out because you
Okay.
mate a good point about that.
Yeah.
About the other two preseason games. that
Well,
are
I
on the
mean, all
schedule.
three of the games are marquee matchups. Yes, it may not be your, the team one of both of these teams, but I mean, it's, you got the Niners, you got the Rams, and you got the Cowboys. Like all those are like big name teams and stuff like that. But in the entirety of the preseason, especially the game that we're going to against the Niners, I'm really looking forward to seeing Aiden O'Connell. I'm looking forward to seeing him because, I mean, at the end of the day,
he might start.
because he might be our guy. You just never know. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what he's going to bring to the table and all that stuff because this office and coaching staff and all that, they're really high on this guy. And I think this coaching staff was calling him like maybe potentially the next Brady or whatever. Or, that's so far fetched and stuff like that. But if this regime thinks that about this guy, like, okay, I'm interested. You got my attention. I want to watch.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, so let's get finally, let me spit it all out. So back to the schedule. So at the opening game this year, of course, we're going to be at Denver. I love it that we're getting at Denver out early.
Yeah.
True.
It's
Yes.
because that game can always be crazy. With the weather. Did you ever play in your playing career? So for those of you that don't know, Jeff is I'm going to brag on you. He's the all-time passing leader at Alameda High School. Then you're the standout at Laney College in Oakland, and then you came and played here at MTSU. Now, of course, when you're at MTSU, you're playing probably a southern schedule, so you're not an opportunity to play in cold weather. And then you played in California. Did you ever play in any cold weather at all?
Well, I mean, as far as not snow, but I mean, Tennessee gets real cold, especially
Oh, that's true, huh? Yeah.
So we had towards the end of the season, you'd always get cold games, and then when we would go to a bowl game, I mean, you're in the South, it gets pretty cold. So
okay.
We never got that far west, like in the Rockies, or never really went up north anywhere.
Okay.
But definitely had some 30-degree weather games here in Murfreesboro.
Okay. Oh, okay. All right.
The cold sucks.
Yeah.
And I think that's the point you're trying to make.
That's-
I mean,
yeah.
You get
Well,
windy and cold. The footballs get
That's what I
so
wanna
much
get,
harder. It's hard to hold on to them. It's just, and then as far as the kicking game goes, a lot of these games are so close. It just takes a missed kick or a miss. When you're, especially for the punters, like you're trying to pin a guy deep, and instead of pinning them deep, you kick it low because the balls are hard. They don't fly as good, and he gets it, and he gets a good return. So there's so many factors. I think that's a good point. Playing them at the beginning of the season, you should have nice weather in Denver, and you should avoid any possible situations like that.
Absolutely. So, and speaking of that, and I didn't have this on our list to talk about, but I want to bring this up because this is interesting. You brought up the idea of like how strategic it is for a punter to pin a guy, right, or to pin the ball. There's also the little bit of that component in the return game and on kickoffs. And now with the NFL changing the rule, what's your thoughts on this whole idea of like a fair catch automatically goes to the 25? Like you got guys like Pat McAfee, former special teams guys, that are furious and think that it's the stupidest idea in the world. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't like it either. I don't really understand the reason for doing it. It was not something, in my opinion, that was like a huge issue. So, and you're taking another phase out of the game. I mean, we haven't had any like prolific returners in a long time, but it's like we used to always deal with Dante Hall every year.
Right,
that guy was a
right,
nightmare for us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so it's like you're taking a whole phase out of the game that's pretty important in my opinion. And I'm not the biggest fan of kickers, and just to be honest. But like if you do have a really good punter, that is a huge asset. Yeah. Or if you have a great kicker, that is a huge asset if he's on your team. We had Leckler and Jano for years. It's like, that was a huge.
Those are only Pro Bowlers during those era.
So it's like I don't really understand it, honestly. There wasn't a point of emphasis unless they're just continuing to try and do eliminate the head injury thing.
That's okay.
But it's like, come on, we can't take that much out of it.
I think it's dopey. And so Michelle, ask you on this. So one of the things that I heard, one of the theories is that they had changed this because of like what Jeff was talking about, the potential for head injuries, but it's only to avoid future litigation. It actually has very little to do with players' safety. And so that to me just like is extra sketchy about the NFL making this call. And I'll give you one more thing I want to hear from you on. So the other thing that I heard too is that this didn't pass, and it only passed after Goodell reconvened and then pushed the issue and really drove this thing home. That like the owners on the front end were completely opposed to this thing even happening.
Yeah, well, and you always say it like follow the money. Like that, you always say that, and so thinking about future, because I'm turning into that get off my lawn person. Like, is this going to be flag football before it's all said and done? And it's frustrating to me. But I mean, who am I? But yeah, it seems weird because it's like sometimes special teams is what wins you games. Like there's like little things happen in those moments where you're pinning someone at the 2, but then they get to just catch it there, and then they get it at the 25. Like what the is that? Like, that doesn't make any sense. So, yeah, but the litigation, I didn't know about that, and that makes sense because, everything's about the money.
Everything's about the freaking money.
Yeah.
It's the same reason that they freaking made the flex game. The Thursday flex game that Jeff and I were talking about this last week. So, Jeff, leave it to you to shout out the next game because we got some maybe news around that I want to share with the folks what we were thinking about that game. But then also update us on what's going on in the chat with the donations as well, please.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. So I'll do that first and foremost. So we got some people, like I said at the beginning, donate money before the show started, but we've had a few people jump in. Stacy Ruff with a $50 donation to the One Nation Foundation. So 5 poker chips to Stacy, and then Omar Juarez with a $10 donation. And then we want to highlight this guy that gets poker chip number 8 tonight, Jay Morse, because that goes right into what we were talking
what a
about.
segue.
Right there. Yeah, so Jay Morse with Salt City Silver and Black. So week 2. We are going to be, the Raiders will be traveling to Orchard Park to take on the Buffalo Bills.
That's going to be a tough one.
It's going to be a tough one.
Hey, speaking of cold weather, good thing that's in September.
100%. So hopefully that is going to be our RFR road trip this year.
Yeah.
So if we can get the Fan Cave 1.0 sold, then so hit us up. So Super Chat if you want to buy the Fan Cave.
Yeah, if you want to buy my house,
exactly.
I'll send you the listing.
Yeah, there you go.
Actually, Jeff's wife will. His lovely wife Scarlett, who's my realtor.
There you go. But yeah. So that's the kind of the game we're hoping for. That we get to go and we're gonna hopefully do a live show at that event. Tailgate, the whole deal. And Salt City Silver and Black's really like rolling out the red carpet.
Oh my gosh, those guys know how to do a party up there, man.
Dude,
they got so much stuff going on.
Really hope we can be a part of that.
Absolutely. And Jay, I apologize. I don't have any of the copy in front of me to shout out what you guys got going, but trust me, we will give a lot of, even if we aren't able to make it, which I think we're going to be able to make it happen. But we're gonna promote the heck out of what you guys are doing up there. We know so many of the great booster clubs up there in the Northeast. I mean, there's tons of amazing booster clubs for the Raiders up in the Northeast. And so we are definitely going to promote what you all have going on. And it sounds to me like their things are already selling out. Like they already have, their blocks of rooms are sold, their hotels are sold out. Like it's crazy. So much respect for what you guys got going on up there and look forward to being a part of that. So, all right. So I think
before we move on, I do want to highlight Mike Lynn TN with a $10 donation to the One Nation Foundation.
Mike Lynn
says, hey, thank you from a longtime Raiders fan in Chattanooga. So just about an hour and a half down the road because Mike, we're in Murfreesboro. So much respect to you.
Right on, and it's his first super chat from Mike. So we appreciate that very, very much, Mike. That's awesome. All right, so QB Jeff. So we've started off the season 1-1.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, right.
Well, hold on now.
I'm pretty sure we can beat the Donkeys.
Well,
I think
yeah.
so.
Beating Buffalo in Buffalo.
That's early in the year, man. They always get, I mean, it takes them a minute, right?
Oh, it's a tall order, man. That's a good freaking football team. But anyway, but let's say we start 1-1 because let's do a little schedule prediction as we're going here.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we all safe to let's do a collective.
Okay.
Okay.
So, but we're not allowed to pick 10 wins
Okay.
because 10
Okay.
wins. Everybody picks 10
Everyone
wins for their
can do
team
that.
every single year. So we're not allowed to pick 10 wins. So we are 1-1 right now, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So next QB Jeff, we go. We don't go. We got Pittsburgh at home. Now we know how Pittsburgh can travel, and we've even seen. You're an Oakland guy.
Yep.
We've saw, and people want to complain about the whole takeover thing and all that kind of stuff that goes on at Allegiant Stadium. We saw it happen in Oakland, and you didn't see that very often, did you?
Not with very many teams. Pittsburgh, they travel. So I'm going to be honest. I think that game in Vegas is like us going to Pittsburgh. I'm just going to be frank about it. And another thing, I think Pittsburgh's going to be really, really good. I think they crushed the draft, in my opinion.
Oh, they sure
They
did.
got a lot of young talent. Their defense is going to be really good. This is going to be a tough game. And it's almost hard for me, and I know we'll get to it later. It's hard to do these predictions. We don't know who's going to be
Who's
behind
gonna
center.
Yeah, jeez.
That's true. Well, you know what we like to do? We'll do one early
Yeah.
and then do one later on before
there
we
you
go. So, because you're right. Things change a lot when it's Tom Brady as our quarterback and
Yeah.
not Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah.
It means a whole different
Or
thing, right?
Aiden O'Connell. I mean, which
Or
is,
Aiden O'Connell.
you know. So, I mean,
Telling you. I think it's I have this dream scenario, and I don't. Bear with me for a second, Raider Nation. Jimmy G's hurt.
yeah.
Tom gloriously emerges and sachets from the owner's box down the steps of Allegiant Stadium with the 2001 A Space Odyssey theme playing a la Ric Flair as he spreads out his arms and spins around slowly with TB12 on the back, and he sheds the robe and the beautiful silver and black 12 is emblazoned on his chest because that number's available. Because
The
Aiden
script was practically written
I'm
already.
telling you.
No kidding.
What? Because seriously, okay, and you're the QB expert here, so I'm gonna throw it to you. What other option do we have? Like, for real? Like, what are we? Teddy Bridgewater? Like,
I don't know. That's why the whole Garoppolo thing bothered me when we got him, because you knew he was coming off of an injury. He hadn't got the surgery yet, or whenever it was. I can't remember specifically, but you got a guy that has not been able to complete a season. And in my opinion, he had one of the best defenses while he was in San Francisco. So when you get the ball back that much and you have phenomenal athletes around you, you had decent numbers. He's not a game changer. He's just not. It was a horizontal move from Carr. He's like Voldemort. You can't mention his
careful,
name.
man.
Holy cow.
But
You get
honestly,
the
it wasn't
Twitter coming after you.
It wasn't like
Or
it
half of
was
Twitter.
that much of an improvement over Carr, in my opinion. Because now you're giving him the defense that Carr had, and it's just so I'm all for it. Give me Brady. I know everyone has hated him since the Tuck rule, but he's a Bay Area kid. I've always rooted for him. To be honest.
Absolutely.
And the
Sarah High
guys-
School, right?
Yeah, Sarah High School in San Mateo.
Did you ever play them?
No, we didn't.
Okay.
But he's the smartest quarterback, in my opinion, to ever play the game besides Peyton Manning. It's 1A and 1B right there. So if you get that guy on this roster with the running game that we have, Devante Adams and Hunter Renfrow, we'll see what our O-line does. But I'm good with it. Because who are you going to start out there?
That's
Aiden O'Connell? He's our next guy, right?
Not now.
Well, it's
I mean, if Garoppolo can't go?
and Brian Hoyer.
Yeah, but Hoyer can't start.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I mean,
He's
I
there
don't
for his
disagree
You know
with
what I'm
you.
saying?
Hoyer's a
Like,
coach. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's a vet. He's a wily vet in
Yeah,
case of
yeah.
an absolute emergency situation is what he's there for. So I don't know what we're going to do.
All right. Well, but we're going to you're
I'm
calling.
saying Pittsburgh a loss.
Well, I was gonna say after all of that, everything sounds like it's
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's so hard to do it. But let's all right,
Okay, let's
do this.
assume Jimmy
Jimmy
Garoppolo
G's-
is healthy.
He's
Okay.
playing.
Let's go with that.
Okay.
Okay, and he plays a full season. I know that's a lot, and there's half of Raider Nation is yelling at me right now, but let's just go with that. So, okay, so we're going to take an L there. So we are now 1-2. All right, now we go at the LA Chargers to SoFi Stadium. Michelle, what do you think happens there?
Well, okay, so I'm gonna say we win it.
Okay?
Home game for us.
That's a
it's
home game for us.
So
Exactly,
that's good.
yes.
And we just came off of 2 losses.
Yeah.
And it is a division game. And after coming off of 2 losses, we have to win that game. I don't care how
Yeah.
you make it happen.
Because if we dump 3 in a row to start off the year,
Fire sale.
like what we did last year,
please
then it's
don't.
McDaniels is under fire. along
Well,
with
because
everybody.
when you look on the opposite side and you look at the New Orleans Saints that are probably 4-0 at that point,
don't
because
look at
they've got
them.
because they've got the patty cake schedule.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like everyone's just gonna be literally shitting their
Yeah.
pants.
they're gonna run away with the division,
absolutely.
like for real, they're gonna run away with.
Can
the
we
division.
have any peace?
No.
No peace. What?
No.
Raider Nation?
No.
No.
Oh my
peace?
gosh.
No.
Somebody throws a bone for
Oh
crying
my
out
gosh,
loud.
it's gonna be brutal, dude. I'm telling you, the Saints are gonna
Do
and now-
not watch the Saints.
And you know what's
because-
funny? And
Their defense is good.
their
Yeah.
defense is
Like,
good. They
that's
got
gonna-
Alvin
division
Kamara,
is
like,
trash. Like that's the
and
That division is just garbage.
And you know what? It's
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah.
And so I was thinking about this the other day too, because I can just see this. You just see this coming, right?
Yeah.
And so seeing this coming, and so I was thinking about not only the idea that the Saints are going to run away with the division, but I thought, well, but then they'll get thumped in the wild card round, right? I don't think so, because when you look at like the best wild card team is going to be like the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Like there's not going to be in fact, all the wild cards might come out of the NFC East.
Yeah.
Like there are no, like, when you look at the divisions, like, because the Niners are going to run away with the West, right?
should.
When you look at the South, it'll be the freaking Saints. When you look at the East, it's going to be Philly. When you look at the North, the Vikings? You know, because Green Bay certainly
Detroit.
isn't Green Bay anymore.
I think Detroit's gonna be sneaky and run away.
I
with
agree
it.
with you.
There you
I
go.
agree
So
with
it
you.
would be like a first-round matchup for freaking Derek Carr to have a home game against the Lions. And he's going to win the playoff game, and everyone is going to get on Twitter and go,
Yep.
see?
No,
See?
no.
Oh,
Hendon Hooker is gonna bury him into that turf. Bury him into that turf.
oh, my gosh. And so for those of you that love Derek Carr, too, by the way, this is not me taking a shot. This is not me taking a shot at Derek. I could just see the way this thing is stacking
Well,
up.
It's like you saying "with all due respect."
Yeah.
Which Ricky
With
Bobby
all
said
due
that.
respect. Yeah.
Bless his heart.
zero respect. No, I mean, he was smart to look at all the teams he could have went to. I mean, who wouldn't? Like he has made this. That's exactly how it's going to play out. Look at his schedule.
telling you,
That's
yeah.
exactly.
That's what having a good defense does for you. You don't have to be perfect. You can afford to make more mistakes because your defense is going to get you the ball back.
It's nice.
And
to
we
be
have
in
not
a good
had that.
division,
No,
too,
and
not
they're
have
going to be playing
Kansas
against.
City.
Yeah,
they're going to be
that
playing
too.
against terrible quarterbacks.
That
Yeah,
too.
exactly.
They're going to get the ball back a lot.
I mean, smart decision on him going there.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely,
Props to him.
absolutely.
Yep.
Would have done the same.
Props to him for calling that shot. All right, so then we go.
At least we got a home stretch here.
Okay, all right.
okay,
So
here
yeah,
we go.
we're home against Green Bay. That's a W.
Okay, yeah, that's a W.
That's a
for
W.
Sure.
All right, then we got home against New England. That's a W. There's no way that Josh McDaniels is going to lose to freaking Belichick, especially with all the Tom in the box and you know everything. No way. That ain't going to happen. All right, then we go at Soldier Field. I think the Bears are probably going to be sneaky better.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're going to be great. I think, can we all agree that's a
Yeah,
W
I don't
for us?
trust
that's a
Justin
W.
Fields enough.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so that's a W there. Then we got at Detroit. Will we go an L there?
I think
Absolutely.
I think that's an L.
That's
yeah.
especially
Detroit's
after
gonna be
winning
good.
4 in a row.
They're another team
Right.
that did really well in the draft.
All right, then we got the Giants at home.
So that's the Darren Waller revenge game,
That
right?
Darren Waller revenge game, and he'll finally he'll
He'll have a pair of
He's
scores
gonna
and 150
absolutely, yeah.
yards and all that,
absolutely and then be unavailable the next week. Yep. All right, so
Maybe
No,
his
but
first game of the
seriously.
season. He might get hurt again.
And there's
do
a
we
lot of
still
Giants
win? I feel
fans
like we
too.
could still win.
I think Giants fans will travel.
Giants fans will, and so will Jets fans,
So will
who we
Jets
see
fans.
next week. We got back-to-back weeks in freaking Allegiant against New York football teams.
Yeah.
And the Jets, I mean, it's.
I think we win that.
Oh.
You think we beat Aaron?
I think we do. Yeah, Aaron versus Devante. I think Devante freaking goes off.
That's more the revenge, because they were talking about the Devante revenge game being against the Packers. I don't think so.
No.
I think it's against Aaron.
Aaron.
You
He
agree too?
ain't got no skin in that
So,
fight at
okay,
that point.
Michelle, so you think that's a
I
W?
think that's a W.
Okay, Murph, you go with that one?
Oh,
I
I'll
put my
go with
money
that.
on Devontae.
Okay, all right. I'll go. Y'all go. It's because of Devontae.
Yeah,
I'm
because
with
of
you.
him, yeah.
Okay, at Miami, we're getting smoked.
Yeah.
I think we're going to lose
East
against
Coast
Miami.
on the road.
Yep, and
Miami's
they're
good.
and they're
Unless Tua's out.
Well,
unless Tua's out. But
I was going to say that's unless he gets hurt again.
But Tyreek will make
possible.
8 Tyreek plays
Yeah.
against us,
Oh.
and we'll lose that one. And then Kansas City's a loss.
Oh, yeah.
And then
Yeah, let's just call it what it is.
then we've got Minnesota at Allegiant. I think we can beat. I think we
I
win
think
that
that's
game.
a winnable. Yeah, I think.
That's a winnable one, right? Then we got the Chargers at Allegiant. That's winnable.
Winnable, yeah.
All
That's
right,
a
so we
win.
got a W there, and then we got the Chiefs. It's a loss.
yeah.
Okay, then at Indianapolis, how do we feel about that
That's a
one?
win.
I think that's a win.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, W.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
I think that's
there's
our
always a game we
there's a
shouldn't
stumble
lose.
game.
Is that our-
I think that's
our
our
trap
stumble
game?
game.
Okay.
I think that's our stumble
fair.
game. We're
Against
friggin-
Anthony Richardson.
against Anthony
Coming off
Richardson,
of a
who has
loss
been
to
That's
Kansas
mediocre.
exactly-
City? Are you sure?
That's
They have-
exactly. You're
they're-
right.
They've been eliminated
He's
from
right.
the playoffs. There's no. They have
And
no
we're
skin
playing
in that
for our
fight,
life.
And we're playing for our life. We've just come off of a loss against Kansas City. We're a wild
And that's the
card
game,
team.
and Jimmy will have gotten hurt the week prior.
Oh, probably before that.
well,
and
if he
it's
takes
Because
if
he'll have gotten sacked in Kansas City at Arrowhead.
if he takes a shot like freaking Jarrett Stidham did against,
Oh.
you know,
Yep, that's it.
Yeah,
Yep, that's it. Yep. So, all right, you're right. That's our stumble
and it's
game.
New Year's
I mean,
Eve,
I-
so-
yeah.
And then we'll finish off smoking Denver by 35.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that, yeah.
All
And
right.
we'll get all of our hopes up for the 2024
Exactly.
season.
Yes. Okay, so we are 1, 2,
Okay,
3,
that's
God, I hope
4,
this-
5,
I hope
6,
this is
7,
10.
8,
No way.
9.
Wait,
Oh wait, are we only 9?
I,
Was that 9?
I counted 11. Did
1,
I
2,
give us
3,
extra?
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Nope, 9 wins.
8, 9. Oh,
Which, okay, now this is
well,
perfect.
I don't know how I got 11, but I don't know.
Well, hey,
No.
you do your thing.
Well, you know what?
I hope we get yours.
I put
I know, right?
I put a W at Buffalo. I think we're going to get the job done.
Okay, all right. Well,
I think
that's-
we're going to get the
You
job
got
done
10.
there. I have 10.
Murph said
the
we
You
dreaded
can't do
10.
10. You
He
can't do
lied.
10.
Yeah.
So here's why I think that we're gonna and I'm so happy. This makes me so joyful. Here's why I think that we're gonna have 9 wins, because that way we can have a 9-8 season. We'll have improved. We'll have a winning record, and then the narrative from the Raiders in the offseason will be, see, we got better. We just like with Gruden, we started off terrible,
Yeah.
then we got even, and then we had a good season, right? And so that's what the narrative will be, that, hey, we're getting better. Now we give us another full draft. You know, we got faith in Josh and Dave. But the reason that it kind of sucks is because we'll be drafting like 17th.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I'm. You know what?
The thing that
Put
sucks
a
about
pin
that,
in this show, because I think we
That's
just
right.
nailed what's going to happen
Well,
this season.
I hope I'm right.
Go ahead, Michelle.
Well, no, I was going to say the thing that just really sucks is it all hinges on whether Garoppolo, that to me, if Garoppolo comes out of this and just really just starts nailing it, it will be the most Las Vegas Raiders thing to have pushed all the money to the center and said, Garoppolo's the guy. Like, that just feels, I would never do that, but I don't like losing money. So, but yeah, that's the linchpin here, is whether he, or if Brady, comes out of the box, like you said, which I am.
Yeah.
I'm all for that. Like, he could do this in his sleep. So that's the part that makes this tough, because we're just sort of stuck sitting, waiting to see where that's headed.
I'm with you. That's going to drive a lot of it. All right. Any final thoughts? We've got Michelle's. You got QB Jeff?
I think I agree with what Michelle said. The quarterback position is going to be important. I think the jump that our defense can make is what's going to push.
Oh,
this
that's a good
season
call. Yeah.
over the 9 winning season. Hopefully more. But if we can't stop guys and we can't get pressure on these AFC West quarterbacks, it doesn't matter who's behind center. And I said the same thing last year. Like, if we can't figure out a way to get pressure on the quarterback, and Mahomes and Herbert and those guys can sit back there and just they can do whatever they want. It doesn't matter. You'd have to score every single possession to match what they're doing.
Right.
And that's almost impossible doing that every game, regardless of who's behind center.
No, we hadn't talked to you since the draft. Do you think the Raiders have done enough, more than what you expected, less? Like, what are your thoughts on?
I liked the draft that we had. I don't think we addressed the areas, in my opinion, we needed to enough early on. I mean, I think Mayer, the more I thought about the Mayer pick, I really do like it. I think he's going to be a
didn't
really
sit
good
with
player.
me right off the
Not
bat.
off the bat.
Yeah.
But we didn't address the offensive line situation, in my opinion. I think they're banking on some of these guys being better.
Illuminor.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, being better than they were a year ago. Okay, I hope you're right. But you didn't really do much for that. And then I hope Aiden O'Connell's is as good as they say. I really do. I thought there were 2 other guys on the board that were better than him, but we'll see. Purdue's not. They didn't throw the ball a ton. I mean, he had decent numbers, but you had other guys on the board that had 4,000 and 5,000 yards passing, 40 touchdowns, minimal interceptions that had done it 2 or 3 seasons in a row. If you want a quarterback to throw the ball, why are you not taking one of those guys?
And there were group of 5 guys.
They were a group of 5 guys.
Yeah,
but I don't think the kid's a bad player, but I don't know. I mean, Purdue, they like to pound the ball and go play action. Maybe that's what we're going to do. Maybe that's why they like it.
All right, Jeff, final thoughts on the schedule there, buddy?
Yeah, well, I think that's kind of the narrative, right? Is that, we'll be good enough to just barely miss the playoffs, but then, be like, well, see, we got better, So, better. Yeah. And then the Carr haters or just the Raider lovers will be like, look, see, it doesn't matter. Like, we were still able to improve, but I'm thinking kind of like what you said, Jeff, was that, I'm interested to see what the O-line's going to do. They really doubled down on this crew. They really doubled down, and it's going to be important.
And his name's escaping me right now, but our offensive line coach, Brasillo, Carmen Brasillo, I think they're really doubling down on his ability to impact not only the development of these guys, but the way that they're rotating in and out, because we're going to have a little bit of movement still on the right side. So
yeah. And what's that running game going to look like behind that offensive line? Is Josh Jacobs going to be there? Is he going to be ready to go? Is he going to play ball? And then with that offensive line as well, can you keep Jimmy G on his feet?
Yeah.
Can you do it? It's going to be huge.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I tell you, if for some reason, I don't know what's going to happen with Jacobs. If he's not there, you're going to see a huge difference, because if you look at his yards after contact last year, that's why that guy won the rushing title.
Absolutely.
He's an incredible running back.
Uh-huh.
And if you don't have him, you're not going to get all those broken tackles and extra yards that Josh got out of the other guys in that room. You're just not.
What do you think? Give me like an odds prediction here, because we've all given our thoughts a lot on Josh Jacobs.
I think he's going to come around. He doesn't seem like that type of guy, but you
Just
still
sit
got paid
out,
a lot of money.
It's $12 million.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But he wants it long. I get it. He wants it long term. And running backs don't have a long shelf life.
That's the thing, man.
So I don't blame him for being, a little, stingy on. Come on, man, pay me.
Right.
Yeah. Well, do you think that should they change some of the verbiage in the CBA or do something to specifically address running backs? Because you're right, they're completely their effectiveness in the league is in their first contract.
Yeah.
So you got to be like a complete superstar, like a Derrick Henry, to really justify getting, paid, or versus just going off somewhere else and getting, Miles Sanders kind of money or whatever else like that. Because what Josh is wanting, he's wanting McCaffrey, he's wanting Kamara, he's wanting Henry. He ain't gonna get it, man.
Yeah, he's just not, and especially with the style that he plays, he's such a bruiser. He absorbs contact, whereas McCaffrey and Kamara, they're a lot more shiftier, man. They avoid just the hit over hit over hit. And when you got the O-line that we have, he has no choice. He's breaking tackles in the backfield and then going for 5. It just takes a toll on your body. And teams don't want to invest long-term over a guy that, unfortunately, is a great player, but it's his running style. That's just who he is.
Absolutely. Like we always say too, NFL contracts, you get paid for what you're going to do, not what you've done before.
Yep.
So the Raiders can be very appreciative of what Josh Jacobs did, winning the rushing title last year, but he's not going to get a contract based on what he did last year. He's going to get a contract based on what the Raiders think he's going to do next year. All right, let's go ahead and hit a break, Swag Jeff, and then shout out what's going on in the chat room with the donations, and then we're going to jump into. We already started talking about him, but we're going to dive heavy into the Jimmy G situation.
All right, deal. Hey, Raider Nation, it's your old Uncle Mosh here from Raiders Fan Radio. You're listening to Murf, Swag Jeff, Michelle, and QB Jeff on Raiders Fan Radio. Just win, baby.
Hey, thank you, Uncle Mosh.
Thank you, Uncle Mosh. And hey, and if you tuned in late, like Ron, where the hell were you? So,
Ron, the chat's been talking all kinds of craziness.
Everyone's
in
been
there.
cussing and stuff in here, and all sorts of stuff.
Like I was in there.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So hey, we are raffling off this signed Howie Long away jersey, this Nike game jersey. The jersey itself is $100, man. Come on. So every $10 gets you one poker chip into the running to win that bad boy. So and it's all going to the One Nation Foundation.
Yes,
right? So,
absolutely.
Yeah. So much respect. So keep those donations coming. We're at $550.
Whoa!
$550. So keep those
that?
donations coming, man.
We appreciate you very much, Raider Nation, for your support of not only Raiders Fan Radio, but more importantly, the One Nation Foundation. And so while we're waiting for QB Jeff to come back, I'll just tell you real quick about what you're supporting. So we started a nonprofit 3 years ago. Once we realized we could make money with this show, we decided we were going to give it all away, 100% of it all away. And so a year after that, we formed the One Nation Foundation in order to keep everything transparent and for everybody to see exactly what it is that we're doing. So it's an official 501c3 charity, and we fund and give to, at this point, strictly Raiders-related charities, but we've got some ideas about as this thing grows to reaching out into other areas as well. But anyway, so we give to Raiders-related charities. We've given to the Stabler XOXO Foundation. We've given to GoFundMe pages. We've given to, of course, the Bolitnikoff Foundation is our main funder or fundee, whatever the heck it is. We give them money, and we do that because they foster places called Tracy's Place of Hope, which provides rehabilitative services, counseling services for young women that are at risk of domestic violence and substance abuse. And so we are very proud to give to the Bolitnikoffs and Tracy's Place of Hope, which was founded in honor of Fred's daughter who was taken from us way too soon. And so that's where your money's going. Also, we've taken on this year Raider Dad. I mentioned at the top of the show, taking underprivileged kids to games along with their families. And so that's where this money's going. So even if you don't win the jersey, even if you don't win a consolation prize, just know that your money is going to an absolutely incredible place. And you can feel good that that money's going there. And 100% of it's going there. We don't take anything from this show. We give 100% of our money that's raised through these things. We give 100% of that back to the foundation and then to these collective charities. So that's where your money's going. Thank you so very, very much. We love you guys for what you're doing for the One Nation Foundation.
Absolutely, man. And your guys' donations has gotten the attention of big companies and stuff like that.
Yes.
Big organizations and stuff like that we're in the middle of in talks with to partner with and stuff. We've already got a couple that have signed up. They're all in. They're on board, and we got a couple massive ones that we're in the works with. So keep those donations coming because it's because of you guys that we're able to do those other things.
Absolutely,
so, yeah.
Absolutely, and yes, and it is, and thank you for saying that, Jeff. Yeah, it has gotten. I don't want to call it widespread attention, but it's really taking getting notice of some significant entities and supporters that are just going to do nothing but amplify our giving. And whether that's amplifying our message or that's actually donating directly, having corporate partners to your foundation is the next level for us. And we don't get to any of that without you guys and everything that you guys are doing and things like tonight to win that jersey. So I cannot respect you guys enough for that. All right. Let's talk about the Jimmy G situation. All right. And let's kick it off and go to let's check in with the Pat McAfee show and listen to what Ian Rappaport had to say. This is just today on the idea of Jimmy G and what's gone on around it.
Is that all the stuff that's taking away from us finding out actual information from you? How do we not know that Jimmy Garoppolo's foot was a real thing? We thought this Raiders Jimmy G deal was done. The shoulder was the only issue. Now we're finding out there was an addendum that was added by Mike Florio of Pro Football Talk that basically said if his foot doesn't recover, they don't have to pay him a damn thing. Signing bonus became salary. They gave him $0. How did this fly under the radar, and where are we with that whole thing?
So let's start at the beginning. So the 49ers, at some point during the season, first they come out and say he's got a list, Frank, he's going to have surgery. And then about a week later, they say, great news, Jimmy G does not need surgery. Awesome. So then it's like, all right, well, if he doesn't need surgery, could he theoretically be able to be the backup in the playoffs? And essentially, best case scenario would have been he could have been the backup in the Super Bowl. Obviously, they didn't get there. That point was moot. Then he just kind of goes on and everything is fine. Get to free agency. Remember, you agree to terms with a team, but you don't sign until there's a physical. And every year, there's one or two guys where things take a little longer. Maybe the press conference gets delayed, and you're like, something's going on. This was one of those. So if you remember, he wasn't announced and signed at the time we all thought. It was actually the next day. And everyone sort of said the same thing. It's going to be fine. That's what I was told. That's what everyone was told. And it really and truly might be fine. But it was not, but it was very complicated. He needed surgery. That is what the Raiders doctors had found. And he ended up having an additional surgery. And the contract was adjusted to give the team protection in case things don't go as well as they want and hope. That is basically where we are now. So that's why he's not on the field for OTAs.
They agreed a deal before doing the physical or pending physical?
Yes. No. You agree to a deal before the physical, and then you fly in, you do the physical, and almost always it's fine, or if it's not fine, the team has a decision.
Yeah, that's the perfect sound because this is such a weird scenario. Because
Right.
I remember when they did the press conference and there was like that delay, and we were all like watching, and everybody was like, "Oh,
We were like, whoa, that's
something's
weird."
going
Yeah.
on. And then and then it was like, "Oh no, everything's good. Like, don't look behind the curtain. You know, Oz isn't back there pulling all the things. Like, don't look." and then we were all like, "Oh, okay, cool, everything's good. Like, it's no big deal." And then now, however many months later, it's like, oh, okay, maybe there was a big deal, but it wasn't a big deal to them. So just that seems like such a crapshoot to sign him, and then the physical issue happens, and with his history, it'd be different if he didn't have a history.
Yes.
The history is what makes it like, oh boy, that is one hell of a gamble to me. So I don't know. It just seems, I don't know. It just seems so like bobbled, like. I don't know.
Seems so Raider, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Raider.
right. Yeah,
That's
that's true.
exactly
That.
what it seems like. It's always one thing after another.
So Swag Jeff, so we in the time when it happened, right? We were like, oh, it's weird because we were like, oh, hey, something's gone on. He didn't pass his physical, and then we're like, oh no, he's fine. He probably did. Is this like a calculated? Is it in a positive way? Do they know something we don't know? Or is this, at a minimum, the optics are shit.
Oh, the optics are bad. I mean, the optics don't look great, but I think there's certain people in Raider Nation that are blowing this maybe a little too much.
Okay.
Because, I mean, really, in reality, I think it's a really smart thing that they put into his contract.
Now that because that is
the
smart.
money part of that. Like I'm all about that because I feel like we've made so many different contract promises and stuff like that.
Bad contracts,
and wind
man.
up getting
Yeah.
shit on for it. But like this one, at least they were like, well, shit, dude, if you can't play, like we ain't gonna pay you.
Because they reworked his contract.
They reworked the contract after that, and like Pat said right there, like if he can't pass the physical by training camp, like they can cut his ass and not be,
It didn't cost us a dime.
anything. Which I mean, when you look at the big picture of the Las Vegas Raiders in 2023, if that happens, like shit, like that win-loss record that we just did may look a lot different. And especially because you also see a lot of people go, well, the league is going to have it in order where Tom Brady can't come out of the owner's box and whatever and come down. And that might be the case. So it really might be Aiden O'Connell and Carson Wentz or, you know what I mean? Or name, third tier, shit-ass quarterback that comes in.
Matt Ryan.
Exactly, something like that, I mean, we were talking with the bread guy over here at Domenico's, and he goes, well, I think their Titans are going to get rid of Ryan Tannehill. He might be our best option, if worse comes to worse in that aspect. So, but as far as the money goes, I think the Raiders made the right call in putting that addendum into that contract.
Give them props for that.
But, I don't know, man. You you'd hope something nice will happen, but I don't know, man.
I have nice things.
We're Raider fans. We can't have nice things or whatever.
So QB Jeff, I kind of already know what your answer is going to be on this, but I'm going to set it up anyways because I want I want Raider Nation to hear your opinion on this. If you're going to take a risk on a guy that's maybe got a potential health challenge, is Jimmy G the guy that you want to pull that trigger?
Absolutely not. I agree. Like putting that in the contract was very smart. Why are we even drawing up a contract for a guy that he's supposed to be our guy, who is not a top tier quarterback? Not certainly, in my opinion, not a great upgrade from Derek Carr. But we're betting it all on him. And then Aiden O'Connell's our guy if he can't go, or Ryan Tannehill. Which God, don't give me Ryan Tannehill. I don't know. I just. Again, it's the Raider way. This is just. Can we not have it? We can't even sign a free agent quarterback without just
yeah.
it just going like the way it's supposed to go.
Yeah.
Well, and considering too that also we had a high pick and could have addressed
Yeah.
quarterback forever, or at least took a dice roll on a franchise quarterback.
I agree. I was so glad we stayed away from Levis and Richardson. Like, I was so happy. Like, great. There's some guys I think in the 5th or 6th I think we can get. Aiden O'Connell wasn't one of them. But yeah, I don't understand. Like, if you knowingly knew this, drew up this contract with Garoppolo, having the injury history, I don't know.
But maybe O'Connell's the guy they think can run that offense. Maybe they and then here's what I always say.
Who's the last rookie quarterback to come in that have just absolutely crushed it their first year?
Oh, well, none of them ever do.
Okay.
I mean, even Peyton Manning set the interception record his rookie year. They're always terrible.
I guess that's my point. Like,
and that's what. And so Guarab in the chat says Murphy didn't cost him a dime, but we got nothing out of it either, and another losing season because right. And so
that's kind of he said it better. That's like my point is I felt like there was other moves that we could have. I don't know. That we could have made besides going that, but they should know everything. Maybe this is just being blown way out of proportion, and Jimmy's really good to go. He just haven't been able to pass it because he's not fully recovered yet, but they know his timetable. They know,
that's got to be a They've got to know that. They have to know that.
They can't be that inept.
No,
right?
they're not. They're not.
Well, that's the question, though, because it seems asinine to sign and bet the farm on Jimmy Garoppolo and just assume that he'll finally have a full season. Like, that seems
That's
Rodgers. I'm in. A-Rod, I'm in.
Yes, right.
Like, I'm willing to take that.
Yeah. It
Garoppolo,
just seems
no.
weird because we know his history. His history has proven that he has a really hard time staying healthy.
Yeah.
So you bet the farm on him seems, and then I don't know, a rookie can maybe, but I mean, the odds of that are very slim.
It'd be a stack decked against that kid.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
In the AFC West with the defense that we've had.
Right.
And everyone talks about McDaniels, learning the playbook and all that. It seems like, it really is making it hard for anybody.
And that's kind of what I was going with is that, I really think that, McDaniels is really hoping that he has a guy where he doesn't have to dumb down his playbook. He wants to be able to, do his whole offense. And with a guy like Jimmy G, he's going to take a risk on a guy like that because he knows that he knows his plays. He knows the way he wants the offense run. And so, us as Raider fans, are we going to go all in for maybe Jimmy Garoppolo? Probably not. But a guy like, Josh McDaniels, who's already on the hot seat. Like this is gonna be a make or break year, I think, for him. Unless he maybe goes that 9 or 8 or whatever.
Yeah.
But
I think he's gonna get 3 before.
I don't know, man.
Because Mark doesn't like to be embarrassed. But if things happen that are outside of their direct control, now granted the decision making can be questioned. Right. But if players are unavailable due to injury and whatever these other things come up, and there's another challenging, I think he's gonna get, because Mark doesn't just haul off and fire people. He's going to get a 3rd year, but he doesn't like to be embarrassed either. And that was when the Raiders were embarrassed at a soccer stadium in freaking Los Angeles by the Chargers, and Michael Crabtree and Jack Del Rio and all. When they were, their body language was terrible. They got the crap kicked out of them. And all of a sudden, Mark freaking goes, "Hey, Jack, at your press conference, let everybody know that you're shit canned." Yeah. You know what I mean? So Mark doesn't like to be embarrassed. He's got some of his old man in him. So I think he's got a little bit longer leash swaggle. But your point, though, I think is incredibly valid that, and especially as fans, we're going to be all over what the Raiders do this season. Because this is and freaking shout out Twitter guy that tells me that I'm a freaking bootlicker once again. First I was a bootlicker for Gruden, and now I'm a ride or die or whatever. I'm a something for whatever. I'm a something for Josh McDaniels. Apparently I'm the biggest Josh McDaniels fan in the world because he's our coach.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Right. I want our coach to do well. Right. My bad. You know what I'm saying? What a shocker that I don't care about a guy that plays in New Orleans, and I'm all in for a guy that wears silver and black. And if you're not, then whatever, that's a whole other story. But my point being, though, is that, I want Josh McDaniels to freaking be amazing, but I get it that so far he sucked, Jeff.
Yeah, and what I was going to say is I'm the same way. I love the Raiders. I'm going to root for whoever's in our uniform or whoever's on our sideline. But if this Garoppolo thing does get botched and we have to release him, you could start the season through the first 5 or 6 games with 1 win. Let's just say that happens. I think McDaniels will be on the hot seat if
you think so?
If you start the if the Garoppolo thing goes south. I hope it does not. I hope he's in uniform, opening week. But if it does,
and we lose 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5. That's not a good
look. The season's over at that point. Pretty much.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and when you're young, like Mark Davis, when he's younger, he has a little more patience. But as you get older, like, you want to start winning. Like, you want to, so at what point
he's 68 years old.
Do you start pulling the plug and just trying to because how much time is he willing to give? Like, I don't know.
Well, I think at that point, that has shown, in my opinion, multiple poor decisions on McDaniels' part in the first 2 years. Plus, you have his previous stint. Like, some guys just aren't cut out to be a head coach.
Yeah. Norvell Turner.
That just is what it is. Great coordinators, not head coaches. I hope I'm wrong. I hope McDaniels takes us to the Super Bowl. We'll see what happens.
We'll
see what happens.
And it's fans like us that are fans of the Raiders that are not a fan of the Raiders that aren't. That, like, we're really like, come on, dude. Like,
I want you to do great.
Help us. We are the ones that love you. Like, give us something good, please.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man.
Because, and the criticism, too, and this is what kills me, is that, like, I always say this, too, like, it's easy to be critical because 31 teams lose every year.
Yeah.
Like, so if it's easy to go, well, the Raiders suck. Well, yeah, you know what? Until they don't, you're right. So it's hard to be positive. It's hard to find things to root for. And, especially when you look at this is the thing that this is tough, man, because you look at Josh McDaniels' history is rough. New England coordinators being head coaches is rough. I know that Vrabel wasn't a coach with the Patriots, but he's the only Patriot way guy that's had any success as a head coach in the league.
And moderate at that.
And moderate at that.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Well, yeah, because they should have beat the shit out of the Chiefs and freaking been in the AFC Championship game. Or no, they were in the AFC Championship game. Got smoked. Yeah, lost the Bengals.
They should have won that game.
No,
too.
yeah. So I'm with you. When it came to the biggest of stage, Vrabel's teams have kind of laid down a little bit. But outside of that, Charlie Weiss, Romeo Cannell, you could go down the list, man.
Yeah.
And there's no success there. And now Josh McDaniels just falling into that narrative, and you can't argue against it. Right. So all these negative Nancys that are on Twitter and everywhere else, anybody wants to talk shit about the Raiders, you're all right.
Right.
All of you are correct. So when I'm defending McDaniels, it's not because you're wrong. It's because I'm hoping it'll be different. Because I love this damn team, and I'm tired of freaking being disappointed in October.
Amen.
Shit. I wish I had breaks.
Or May.
Or May.
Talking about October, bro.
That's
shit.
the thing. Yeah, you have to be hopeful because where are you going to
What else are we going to do, Michelle? What else are we going to do?
In September, if I'm already defeated at this point, my ass is going to be in the gutter in September.
Absolutely.
What else are we supposed to hold on to? It's...
And that's where, to steal Michelle's term, that's where we are just whole-ass clowns.
That's it.
We are just...
clowns, yes.
Because we get,
and they keep proving us right, and that's what makes
that's
it
the thing,
hard.
is that it's like, come on, man. How many times are you going to, kick the shit out of us?
Exactly.
But we just freaking,
keep coming back.
Keep coming back. We can't, this ink doesn't come off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, we're in it for this thing. You know what I mean? Jeez, so anyways. All right, hit a break, Swag Jeff, and then let's. I've got an ad read.
Hi, Raider Nation. It's AJ Cole from the Las Vegas Raiders. You're listening to Murf, Swag Jeff, Michelle, and QB Jeff on Raiders Fan Radio. Just win, baby.
Please.
Thanks. I appreciate you, Raider Nation. And
I was about to do an ad read as Michelle. With Michelle sitting right here.
Right here.
Was it going to go like, we'll go like this. We'll go like, well, mother, jazz, fuck.
You're listening to Murf, Swag, Michelle,
and Michelle. And Michelle.
Just go find that old call that I called.
Yeah,
oh, my gosh. So funny. All right. Hey, so I got shout out what we got going in the chat room with the donations. Give us an update on where we're at, and then I'll jump into this ad read.
Absolutely. So much respect to Kill Jadis with the hashtag #OneChipGang with a $10 donation there. We're at $560 tonight. So let's keep the donations coming, man. So you're playing for this Howie Long jersey. The official Nike game jersey, man. It's beautiful. And it's all going to the One Nation Foundation. So every $10 super chat tonight gets you into the running to win that bad boy.
All right. Awesome stuff. Thank you.
Well, yeah. Hey.
Oh, that was a selfie cam there. I don't know what's going on with that thing. Anyway, so gross. So we appreciate you, Raider Nation, and again, all that
like some other content creators.
That's not nice.
Well, I'm just saying.
So,
hey, in respect to Hooligan Nation, Hooligan Nation just coming here and dropping a hammer with another $50 donation to the One Nation Foundation. Said, let's get it over $600.
Oh, right on, Hooligan Nation.
And you sure
rule,
did
buddy.
that, buddy. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So, yes, 100% that money goes to the One Nation Foundation. And also, too, we mentioned that we get attention from these larger companies based on the money that we've been raising here for Raiders Fan Radio. And I've got one to announce to you tonight.
Hey.
We've got a new one, and so this is for Caesars Sportsbook.
No way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
so
man.
Caesars Sportsbook. So here's the offer. Caesars, your new customers, get your first bet on Caesars up to $1,250 on any sport. So Raider Nation, we have an offer from Caesars. You don't want to miss. New customers get their first bet on Caesars, $1,250. All you have to do is use our promo code RFRFULL. That's RFRFULL. Okay, so RFRFULL at sign up. When you use that promo code, you not only have your first bet insured, but you'll also be directly supporting the podcast and, more importantly, the One Nation Foundation. So if you haven't signed up for Caesar Sportsbook, join the code with RFRFULL and drop your first bet. This offer is only available for new customers who are 21 and over, and it's got to be legal in your state. So whatever your state is that you got to be able to use. And then they, of course, want you to gamble responsibly. And if you or a loved one have a gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700 or 1-800-NEXT-STEP. And then look in our podcast description for the full terms of everything that's going on. But thank you and much, much respect to Caesar Sportsbook for supporting the One Nation Foundation. Put in promo code RFRFULL and get your bets guaranteed and get that first bet on Caesars.
There you go.
That's a good time.
All right.
So Caesars, they use the Manning family and us to promote
Yes.
their stuff.
Okay,
and JB Smooth.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah.
Good crew.
And
Good crew.
is it Barry Sanders? No, was it Jamie Foxx?
Oh, Jamie Foxx. No, that's BetMGM.
Yeah,
That's
I think he's
BetMGM.
on-
Never
Yeah,
mind.
yeah,
Never
we-
mind.
no,
Forget
we don't
about
like
it. Forget
that.
I just said that. We don't
Yeah,
like
we
that.
don't- we don't like them.
We don't like that unless
We're going to have to edit this before we send it to Caesars.
unless BetMGM, unless you want to support the show. We'd be glad to.
I
take
mean,
it.
hey,
All-
what's up,
all
Jamie?
all money goes to the One Nation Foundation.
That's like hitting
a
up
small
Coke.
print.
That's like hitting up Coke and Pepsi, right?
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so let's. So OTAs have just gone on this past week. QB Jeff, tell Raider Nation what is going on at OTAs. Like, what is it? What are OTAs? Like, what's the whole vibe of there? What are we doing?
So basically, it's getting a lot of the younger guys, the new guys in, and kind of just showing them the ropes, teaching them the basics of the playbook, and getting kind of everybody acclimated to the culture and meeting. You know, you'll end up meeting some of the older guys. There are some of the older guys that do end up showing up for it, but most of the time, it's your guys that are really trying to make a mark on the team, or your rookies that are coming in.
It's getting to know you time, basically, right?
Yeah.
Getting
Get to know you, getting out there a little bit, doing a few things, and just kind of getting out there with the boys.
Absolutely. Good stuff. And so, you know, what's nice about OTAs, too, is that we get sound bites.
Yeah.
This is kind of like the first time of the year that we get to start hearing from some of the players. And so we're going to hear from a few of them. So first off, let's go ahead and listen to actually, I don't have that one. We're going to skip Max Crosby. We're going to hear Jacoby Myers talking about. We're going to hear about Jacoby Myers talk about Josh McDaniels, because why not talk about Josh McDaniels? We're going to talk about two things: Derek Carr or Josh McDaniels, apparently. It's in the schedule. So, anyways, let's hear Jacoby Myers talk about what Josh brings in terms of his football brain.
There you go, man. And when you on the field, you keep the people always entertained. Now, holla at me, bro. Like, why was it so important for you to get to the Raiders and Josh McDaniel? Just talk about that relationship.
I feel like Josh, a lot of people might take Josh differently, but I think Josh is the guy who pretty much gives you the answers to the test. It's just up to you if you want to use them or not. So from the moment I stepped in the league, he always pushed me. Always, like I said, gave me the answers. And I kind of had moments where I took the answers, and then I had moments where I finally bought in, and it all worked out. So it was kind of an easy decision for me to go back to that and just know I was going to get better every day when I got here. So I'm happy I chose.
That's pretty cool, man, because really, as you know, man, some of us players, we don't even realize or think like that to understand sometimes our best situations and take the coaching and stuff like that. So that's very big by you. But you talked about, you tweeted cold world, right? Like when everything went down, New England, they let you go and then pretty much signed Juju Smith-Schuster for the same damn deal, dog. What's up with that, man? What was your thoughts on that, man?
Nah, it was really just a joke for real. Honestly, I play too much because I probably shouldn't have did it, but it was just funny for real. I got mad love for everybody back in New England. When I left, there was no hard feelings. I still talk to people today, from New England. So I got love for them. I wish them nothing but respect and nothing but the best of luck besides when they play us for real. So
there you go.
We're going to see.
I have a feeling that there was a text in your phone that said, you play too much, Jacoby. I love that. Look, sometimes you got to laugh at yourself.
Definitely.
I love that. Let's go to week 15, 2022, just so we can get this out of the way, because I know you want to erase that memory. But, hey, now you get a chance to make much better memories in that stadium. You are now part of the Raiders that will host your former team, the Patriots, in week 6 of this year. Did you circle that one on your calendar already?
Yeah, but not for the reasons that people think. People will be like, oh, your old team, you want to do your best. But, I got family over there, like real family who I practice against, talked a lot of trash against for years. So I'm just excited to finally get to go out there, and we're going to see how all them practice reps went against each other and see what it like in real game performances. So it's going to be a lot of fun just playing against old friends and seeing a lot of old people. So I got to circle for those reasons, not for any bad reasons, for sure.
I love it, man. It's kind of funny because I can't imagine, QB Jeff, that he doesn't have. So, yeah, there's the whole thing about that was the team he used to play for. And like what a lot of people are saying in the chat room, they kind of did him dirty. But also, like, he threw that interception to Chandler Jones when Chandler spiked Mac Jones's head into the earth and freaking ran it in for a touchdown. like that was incredible. And, like,
never seen that before in my life.
But, like, there's got to be, like, I know he's a pro. And I know that, pros are pros and they don't live on emotion like we do as fans per se, that it's all about, that's their job and all that. But there's got to be some extra mustard because of that, right? At least a little bit, or no?
I don't know.
No?
He seems pretty convincing to me. He seems like a pretty level-headed guy, and I think he does, he really does, care about a lot of those people still in that building. But, you got to, anytime you're going against an old team or old guys, like, you want to prove yourself and prove your worth, and I think he's going to do that. And this is the first time, honestly, I don't know if Swag, is it the first time we've heard him talk before? I hadn't really heard any other sound clips from him.
Yeah, not a whole lot, man. Not a whole lot.
I liked his demeanor.
Yeah. No, he's poised, man. I really like it. And, and frankly, and I love the stuff that he, we always talk about, as fans, we can have our own opinion about, what things are like in the Raiders and how we feel about, certain things or whatever. I kind of care more about what Jacoby Myers thinks about Josh McDaniels.
Yeah.
When you have
Agreed.
guys in that locker room that are all bought in on our head coach, like, I can get down with that. Like, I really like that. And yes, we may have our own reservations and things that we may not see eye to eye on. But if the guys in the locker room that are wearing the helmets and the pads are all in on a guy like that, like, I like it, man, and yes, and I like that he's not, that he didn't say, like, yeah, he circled that on his calendar because he wants to see his buddies and he wants to play. You know what I mean? Like, I remember when Will Compton played the Titans or whatever the last season in Oakland.
He caught a lot of shit for that.
He caught a lot of shit for that. But, like, Will Compton, he circled that on his calendar because that was his boys, man.
Yeah.
Like, that was his guys. That was his former teammates. And he got, like, 8 jerseys that game or something like that. And so, like, I like that he
and he
circled the
laid them
calendar,
all out, and they took a picture of 8 jerseys in his one Raider jersey.
Absolutely.
And Twitter crushed him.
Yeah,
I thought it was fine.
I thought it was great. There's
fine.
nothing wrong with that, But for him to not, like, be thinking about that of last year or whatever, because it's in the past. Don't worry about it. These guys got to have a short memory.
Absolutely.
No, I mean, yeah, it's the same. I think one thing that you said that I thought was that I agree with is he has a trust in Josh McDaniels that, like, we don't know Josh McDaniels like these players know him. And if they're bought in and they have a trust in his plan and how he's got things laid out, then all we can do is assume that they're bought in and that is going to be what carries them through the games and wins games and, pushes them to win more games and those kind of. So I like that he talks highly. Obviously, they're going to talk highly about their coach. They're not going to be like this fool, like they're going to do that. But I mean, they don't have to say the things they say. They can be like Marshawn Lynch, and just be like, I'm just here so I'll get fined. Whatever. So but they speak highly of him and they speak highly of his plan, and I think that says a lot about how they feel about him.
Absolutely.
Like
So QB Jeff, let me throw it to you one more time. Let me ask you. So you've been on a lot of teams, a lot of football teams. Obviously it's important to have buy-in to the coach, and I know that it's different at the collegiate level versus the pro level and in the NFL. But like, is there a sense of like, well, this is our job, so we're here, and despite what the circumstances are, we're going to go out there and be our best? Versus like in the collegiate game, like I don't even know if I'm phrasing this question very well, but just about like the cohesion of it, like how important is that the gel that you hear about, in terms of teams and their chemistry and all that, or is it just like, look, this is our job and we're going to go out there and do what we do, and it's regardless of whether you like the coach or not, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, no, I think that the cohesion in the locker room, I mean, it is the ultimate brotherhood. It's unlike and I played multiple sports growing up in high school. Obviously, only played one in college, but there's no other game like football because you're literally every play laying your body on the line for somebody else, and there's nowhere you can hide on the field. There's 11 positions. It's not like baseball where you can stick somebody out in left field and they may get the ball hit to them, may not be. If you miss a block or you don't do your job, somebody else could physically get hurt. So there's like this whole another level of investment when you play with guys for so long and you build this relationship. It is the ultimate brotherhood. So having that in the locker room, and then it's the same thing with the coach. Like, I love Coach Stock at MTSU. A lot of people outside of the locker rooms do not care for him. They want him gone. I love that man to death. He did so much for me in my life, not only on the field, but more as just a human being. So I understand that relationship with your coach. And if Jacoby has that with McDaniels, that's fantastic. That him coming in, having that prior relationship is only going to bring, more of a cohesion inside of that locker room. And maybe some guys that might have been on the fence about McDaniels, he might be able to bring him on. He knows what McDaniels expects. It's going to just add, another layer, which I think this locker room needs, because last year it definitely felt like it was divided at times.
Absolutely,
so
yeah.
I hope he does a great job. I think he seems like a stand-up guy, and I hope he produces on the field as well.
Michelle, it reminded me, hearing QB Jeff make those comments, it reminded me of something that you said about our playoff team, was that about how it was all emotion. Like that the success that they found to drive to get to that playoff game against the Bengals was all was that emotion of that cohesion and that brotherhood and all that, right?
Yeah, and you can only ride that for so long. Like there also has to be a foundation of other things beside that. But yeah, I think that was the whole reason, because they were playing for each other, which I think is so important. Because I mean, you're just going in there to get a check. Like, and Jeff, I mean, I've never played football, obviously. But, except in the backyard. But, yeah, you're in charge of other people's welfare, and so to have a trust with somebody on such an intimate level, that's huge. Yeah, and I don't like football. It seems like, that would be the most intimate type of, taking care of the people around you. So, yeah, I mean, and that's
the greatest team sport there is, man.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, so we've got a few more comments here. I've got some from let's go ahead and check into some comments from Devante. So there's tons.
Holy cow.
Because we just can't have nice things. Can't have nice things. So there's a lot of people interpreted Devante Adams' comments more than we've got interpretations of the Bible, for crying out loud. It's like they're literally like coming up with all their own theories based on what his words were. But this is what I love about Devante Adams is that, and on social media, and you really hit me to this, Michelle, because we were talking about Josh Jacobs at one point, and I was like, well, why does he do this and why does he do that? And you're like, that's how that generation communicates,
right.
Or at least a lot of that generation communicates on social media. And it was just like, oh, okay. And so Devante Adams is included in that mix. And so when he communicates and they're semi-veiled or vague in a way or whatever, it leads to a lot of interpretation from not only myself, but a lot of Raider Nation. But what I love about Devante is that he will then, unlike Josh Jacobs, will then get on a microphone and tell you exactly what the hell he was thinking and exactly what he was trying to say. And so I really do love that about Devante, and I love the clarity and the transparency. And I think also too that like where Josh is in this contract, I don't want to call it turmoil, but this transition, all these kind of things. Devante's a made man. Yeah. He's the best wide receiver in the NFL. He's had his paydays. He's got his Pro Bowls. He's got his cred. Like he's at much less risk. And so he's got the ability to get out there and to kind of get out front and speak his mind openly and clearly. And if you don't like it, tough shit. You know what I mean? And so anyways, let's listen to Devante Adams kind of clear up some of the things that he was saying.
Just trying to clarify what you meant by, there were some disagreements and
audio
seems like
quality
people ran with that a little bit, and just want to give you a chance to maybe set the record straight on what you meant.
Well, I mean, it's not really setting the record straight. I mean, I think a lot of things get taken out of context when you don't have an interview to look at or people don't know the full story. So at the end of the day, I mean, there's going to be opinions and there's going to be, you're not always going to see things the exact same way. But when you've earned a right to have an opinion, or you see things a certain way, or even, going into the operation this offseason, obviously, I made poke fun at having Aaron here a lot, and why would I not talk about having, best quarterback to play the game and a guy who I have a lot of history with. So that's who I had on my mind initially. So, that was never a slight at Jimmy. I didn't even know we were, pursuing Jimmy. So it had nothing to do with any of that. And then obviously I put something on social media saying, don't hit me up. Don't stop hitting me up if I haven't talked to you recently. Don't hit me up about this stuff. And I already said what that was about. That was clearing up the whole, me just getting bombarded with messages like, oh, what's going on? How you feel about this and this and that? So, I mean, that could have been anybody. But at the end of the day, like I said a couple times now, I'm excited to get to work with, the new guys. And Jimmy's a great guy. Love him to death. I didn't know him very well before he got here, but getting to work together a little bit, be around each other, getting to know him, he's a great guy, and definitely excited to get to work with him and everybody else that's in here.
All right, there we go. So it sounds to me like, Michelle, like it was much ado about nothing, right?
Yeah, it always is, though, because, I mean, they're coming from a place where they're in the inside of all the information. And it's easy to go to social media and be like, listen, and just say something that's kind of vague. And I think a lot all do that.
Well,
and,
well, and since you pointed it out, too, I didn't see it. Now I recognize it all over the place.
Devante Adams is like a little older than Josh Jacobs, so he's on the cusp of the next generation. So he's got a little wisdom behind him, to kind of clarify what he was saying. But yeah, I mean, it's so easy to assume what somebody's saying when it is vague. And when there's nothing else going on, and it is a pretty big deal, it is easy to be like, oh, he must be really pissed, which things are very different than he thought it was going to be. So he has every right to be a little miffed, about what's going on in the front office. Like, yeah, I mean, when things start changing that you weren't expecting, yeah, it's cool to be a little pissed. Like, that's valid. But yeah, I mean, for him to come and be like, listen, this is, the deal, that's good too, because it clears everything up.
Absolutely.
And it shuts everyone up, so that's good.
Swag Jeff, what I think is so funny is that because in the world that we're in social media, it's like you're either all of this and none of that, or all of that and none of that. Like there is no gray area anymore. Like it's crazy to me. It's just like when we again bring up the guy that used to wear the number 4. It's like if you say anything that's even remotely, even disassociated from him directly, you're immediately in one camp or the other. And so
right.
When it comes to these comments that he made in the social media, when the criticism first came up, immediately he went back to social media and posted a picture of him and Dave Ziegler, and it said the man.
The man or
the
my man or whatever.
Yeah. And so that was like, to me, that was very telling that was quickly in response to that. But like what Michelle's saying, can it be both that I see some people in the chat and otherwise have said like, well, he came here for Carr. He came here for a whole bunch of $1 million is why he came.
Yeah, came for $140 million.
Right.
Things.
And so was Derek a nice compliment or a cherry on top? Absolutely it was, because they're good friends and all that. So can't it be both, Jeff, that it's like, yes, he came here and supported Derek, but he can also support the next phase because it's a business, and this is now the guy that he's going to depend on to throw him the football.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, 100%. You know, I mean, yes, he came ultimately. Show me the money, right? You know, I mean, he's the number one quarterback or a wide receiver in the NFL. So yeah, he's going to get that payday. He got his bag, absolutely. And yeah, he came here for Carr as well. You know, I mean, yeah, that's his boy. You know, that's his college teammate, all that stuff. It's his best friend in real life. So yeah, of course he did that. But you know, he also loved the Raiders way before he loved Derek Carr.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like, there's pictures of him as a 10-year-old with a freaking Charles Woodson jersey on. You know what I mean? Like, so don't give me that either. Like, yeah, he came here for all the reasons. And, you know, and frankly, he wants to see the Raiders be successful. At the end of the day, that's why he's here. He wants to be successful. He's one of the best wide receivers in the NFL, and he wants the hardware, man. He wants to win.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely. So QB Jeff, so it's funny. So a lot of the people that are critical of Jimmy and like, oh, he can't do this and he can't do that. My response was always, and I know you mentioned he had a great supporting cast and surrounding cast in San Francisco. And like one of my default positions is ask George Kittle, ask Brandon Ayuk, ask Deebo Samuel what they think of Jimmy G. They love him because he's the guy that distributed them the football and got them in the end zone a whole bunch. Yes, the defense put them in advantageous positions to get to that point. But, like, if Devante's putting up numbers with Jimmy G, from a business perspective, sure, it would be great if it's your best friend, but it ain't show friends, it's show business. He likely doesn't give a shit, right?
No. I mean, it's icing on the cake, but if Derek was the guy, he's not. So you're still getting cake at the end of the day, right? Like, instead of vanilla, it's something else. So, no, Devante is going to be Devante. He's going to be in the right spot. He's going to make the right reads when he's running routes. Now it's just up to the quarterback to put the ball where it needs to be. It's not going to change the way Devante operates or prepares or his plan. But, no, I think Jimmy G, from everything that we've heard, is a great guy. I think he's very capable if he's on the field and healthy. I think he could be I think he is a great quarterback in the NFL. If you play quarterback at the NFL level, you are a fantastic quarterback. Like, there's no doubt about it. Right. You're not terrible, and you got there just by like some lucky chance. Like, you're good. You've done things well enough to get to that position. Now, is he in the same situation he was in San Francisco? Absolutely not. So, do I think he's going to have a better result than his predecessor? I hope he does. I hope the defense improves. But if everything stays the same, like the other variables, like it's not like Jimmy G is going to be breaking tackles and running the zone read option where now you got better numbers. Like physically, he's very similar to Carr. So there's got to be the changes in the defense and the offensive line, and then maybe schematically for him to improve our team to where everybody, I think, wants us to be.
Absolutely.
He can't do it by himself, is my point.
No, he can't. And he needs Devante, right?
Yeah.
And that's where it's going to be very symbiotic between those guys. And so look forward to seeing what they're going to.
Well, when you have a guy like Jarrett Stidham, that everyone after 2 games last year was like, oh my gosh, okay. Well, if they're done with Carr, like, let's rock with Stiddy, man. Like,
Gosh, I wish we would have re-signed him, man.
I liked him.
Yeah, I did too. But like, if a guy like Devante Adams can make Jarrett Stidham look pretty good, like, Jimmy G's going to look pretty good too with Devante, catching his football.
Yeah,
you know what
that's
I mean?
true.
So,
That's a good point. That's a good point. All right, so let's check back in. We got one more from Devante before we get into the Sea of Fans, where we get more of you and less of us is a good thing. I love this. I love a smart ass, Devante Adams. I love this. And he tells, I'm not even going to set it up. You hear from him, not me.
Feel listening to you talk that, you're given a voice, and it's not just to hear you talk, but it's actually to listen to what you have to say, that they respect it. Do you get that sense that there's
correct? I mean, I've never been encouraged to speak up and share my feelings with the organization the way I have with these 2 guys. I mean, and I felt that from the first time that I got the call from them right after getting traded, that's the type of, environment I was going to be coming into, just based off of what they heard about me, the respect they have for things I've done on the field. And,
I try to give them that respect back. And obviously sometimes things get said and taken out of context, like I said, and it's never my intention to bring any type of negative attention or, throw off the focus of the team or whatever, which did not happen, by the way. We got a lot of guys in here that know me well by this point and know my intentions. No, I just want to win. I'm here to try to win a Super Bowl like everybody else is on their team. So that's really my only focus. I'm not really. The thing is with me, and I'm unapologetically me. At the end of the day, I truly do not care what people have to say. So when I'm clearing things up and talking about this stuff, a lot of times it's me protecting other people that were involved. Like, I don't ever want Jimmy to feel a way, think that I didn't want him here, or I don't like him, or I don't want Josh to feel like, I post a picture with Ziggs, and then they're like, oh, is it Josh that that must be the real problem. So y'all can do that if you're that bored. Like, go play Monopoly or some shit.
That's
Hell
so
yeah.
good. That's so good, man. I love feisty Devante, man. I love it. Good stuff there from it.
Play Monopoly or some shit. That's so funny, man.
Shit.
Right.
Well, and you know what's really interesting? So Devante, of course, this is now his second year as a Raider,
Right.
And we all know that there's nothing like a Raider tailgate.
Oh yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Whether they be back in Oakland or even now the ones in Vegas, they're getting a lot better. Our buddy Gil throws a fantastic tailgate. Of course, the Black Hole folks are legendary. But sometimes you can tailgate too much.
Oh, you can do that sometimes.
You can tailgate too much.
We've all done that.
I'm pretty sure that all four of us have tailgated too much, and a lot of us all at the same time. So this is the first time that we've ever heard Devante tailgate too much when, you might partake in just one too many Modelo's there at the tailgate.
I'm unapologetically me. At the end of the day, I truly do not care what people have to say. So when I'm cleaning things up and talking about this stuff, a lot of times it's me protecting other people that were involved. Like, I don't ever want Jimmy to feel a way, think that I didn't want him here, or I don't like him, or I don't want Josh to feel like, I post a picture with Ziggs, and then they're like, oh, is it Josh that that must be the real problem. So y'all can do that if you're that bored. Like, go play Monopoly or some shit.
Sound like more than Modelo, I think.
Yeah. Oh, good stuff there from Devante. But all right, so Swag Jeff, go ahead and give us an update, and then let's jump into the CFA.
Yeah, man, absolutely. So Chef B jumped in with a $20 donation to the One Nation Foundation, brings us up right before CF fans to $630.
Yeah.
So keep them coming, man. Let's get to $700 before the end of the night, man, for this Howie Long jersey. If you tuned in late, we are playing for this guy right here. Every $10 donation via Super Chat tonight goes to the One Nation Foundation. Get you one poker chip into the running to win this bad boy. So get in the mix.
That is awesome. Yep. That is awesome. All right, so let's go ahead and jump in. I've got CF fans in here somewhere.
Do you?
Yeah. Go ahead and keep talking. I'll find it.
I thought you were going to ask me to do the sound effect.
Do the live.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. What?
Baiting, looking. He's under the gun. He's back. He throws. And he caught it. yeah, because Murf's in that. Yeah, baby.
That was crazy, dude.
It's
I think
like
that was
you
great.
played it. I can't believe.
Why the hell do we have sound bites?
I mean,
I don't know.
why?
We'll just make them up.
Just
Yeah.
a freaking walking sound bite over here. Old
Oh,
Swaggy
yeah,
J.
no, yeah. All right, Raider Nation. So this is where we jump into the CF Fans mailbag, where we hear from you, because more of you and less of us is a good thing. But literally tonight, there are more of us than you, because there's only two of you. So we barely have the CF Fans plural. But we've got one email and one phone call. So let me tell you real quick, if you want to join the show and be part of it, we'd love to hear from you guys. And I know that we didn't get a lot because you guys knew we were on a big hiatus. But call us anytime. Call us at 909-345-3346. That's 909-345-3346. Leave a voicemail, and if we leave a voicemail, and if we play your voicemail 3 or more times in the show, you can become a made man or a made woman here on the show. That's like the freaking seat at the table, man. That's like the top of our listeners, and we appreciate all of the made men and made women. And you can also email the show. You can email us at show. That's show.
Oh, okay.
Do you need a Jeff?
Pens,
You got
everybody get your pens.
everybody got that?
Yeah. Write this down, QB Jeff.
So it's show. That's S. Oh, Jeff, I like when you go, that's S. H. O. W.
Wait. U?
So how?
No, not 2 U's. No. No.
W.
No, so you got shoe there, QB Jeff. So it's S H O, then the letter W. This one.
Oh my God.
This is the W.
After V.
There you go. Yes.
What was the first one?
S.
Okay. I think I got it now.
At RaidersFanRadio.com. Send us an email, and we'll read your email an indefinite amount of times, and you can become a made man or made woman that way. And Michelle has the honor of reading the emails. And so who do we have today?
Paul.
Paul?
Right, yes. Evening, everybody. I hope you all had a great Memorial Day weekend. It's always important to remember those that gave the ultimate sacrifice. They're the bravest of the brave and should never be forgotten. Salute to them all. I've been chilling since the last time we were all together on an RFR Live, listening to some Steely Dan and Hootie and the Blowfish, reading some Stephen King, and, of course, dipping into the daily social media of our beloved Raiders. Apparently, we've sold our souls to the devil himself now that Tom Brady has a shareholding. Devante Adams said he hates us all and wants to leave, and the number 4 should never be used on a jersey ever again without the written consent of Derek or David Carr. It also appears that we've signed a quarterback with 1 foot. I'm joking, of course, because none of these things really happened like that, but to listen to some of the nation, you would think that they had. It's never dull, is it? I wonder if the other 31 teams are normal and have quiet days with nothing happening. I wonder what that would be like. Me too. For the record, Devante Adams isn't going anywhere. Aiden O'Connell isn't being disrespectful by choosing a random jersey number. Tom Brady hasn't got the power to make sweeping decisions in Vegas. And Jimmy G will be fit for training camp. And even if he isn't, Dave Ziegler has worked it so that it won't have a financial impact on us. It's only 75 days until the first preseason game against the Winers, so we haven't got that long to wait. Then we'll have some of the answers at least. Just supposing Aiden O'Connell does have to start from day one, who's to say he doesn't light the place up and do what Brock Purdy did? The point is, at this stage, nobody knows. So why not wait and see? If we're 4-8 or worse at the bye week, I'll be the first in the queue to ask hard questions, but why act as if we've failed already? Personally, these are all side stories to me. I just want to see a couple of solid linebackers turn up after June 1st. Then I'll feel a whole lot better about things, as I think it's critical to our defense. There are questions that need answering, though. For instance, what will happen to Hunter Renfrow? Has anybody explained to Tom Brady that now he's a Raider, he'll have to wait 30 years before he makes it to the Hall of Fame? Was Aiden O'Connell told he couldn't choose number 12 because Brady might need it? An interesting point was raised on our Brother Wasted Talent show last week. Tyree Wilson has chosen number 9. So does this mean he'll be lining up as an outside linebacker, as defensive ends apparently can't wear single-digit numbers? And now that Derek Carr, Foster Moreau, Brian Edwards, Jonathan Abram, Dennis Allen, Ronald Curry, and possibly Hunter Renfrow are in New Orleans, are they called the Las Vegas Saints? Is it called the Raider Way, or is that just a tagline for us? I'm ending this week with a plea to the nation. There are a number of podcasters, YouTubers, and social media trolls out there that are shit-stirring 24/7. It's the only way that they can get attention these days. We all know who they are, and if we ignore them, they'll go away. I'm not advocating everybody have the same opinion. That would be stupid. But stay constructive with your opinions and argue in the right way. We all want the same thing in the end, folks. There are plenty of things to hate in the world, but not each other. That's why Phillip Rivers was created. So stay passionate and loyal, everybody. When all is said and done, there are still no better fans in sports. Just try and be a little more optimistic. I know it's hard at times, but it might just work out the way we want it to. Stay safe, RFR family. Love you, Raider Nation. His Lordship, the Royal Scribe, Paul Edgerton, Shropshire, Mississippi. Pauly Award winner 2019 and 2022. Foggy Glasses Award winner 2020. BRT Sizzler Scorekeeper. proud made man.
Five time times two.
Winner of the Raiders Fan Radio BRT Sizzler Award.
Paul. Awesome job, Paul.
Paul.
Paul, your name Paul? Hello? Paul.
My name was Paul. Who? Paul.
Paul, yes, Paul.
Paul's not here. Hey, Paul. Paul.
Hi. I'm Paul.
Darn right you are. Good job, Paul. We appreciate
Paul.
you so very, very much for the amazing emails, as always, my friend. And yeah, if you want to email the show, it's SHOW at RaidersFanRadio.com. All right, we've also got a caller to get to tonight. This just came in today. Haven't heard from this guy in a minute. He is certainly a made man, and he is our buddy Josh down in the 703.
Nice.
What's up, fam? So, somehow, somewhere, the car debates are still going on. I'm at this point, I just guess that now it'll be at least a season or two before everyone calms down. The tractor and supporter are still going at it. I thought this shit was supposed to end, but still everywhere. Though I will say, Josh McDaniels is taking some of the heat now, and I get it. So, Devante Adams, he's not happy. He feels like he was lied to, and I don't care what no one says. If you feel like someone lies to you, you lose a certain amount of trust with people. Only difference is, if my job lies to me right now, I can just fuck you and walk the off. And contractually obligated, that's a whole different thing. I don't think that he's looking at Jimmy G going, oh yeah, this guy's going to take me over the top, but we've all been wrong before. Speaking of broke Dick Jimmy G, the sick call ranger, that motherfucker was already hurt when we signed him. What the fuck? Josh McDaniels, I hope that he can get everything straight. I mean, you can say what you want. Do I believe in those two? No. Do I hope they win? Of course I do. I want them to win. You know, because it's Raiders over everything. But I guess we'll just have to see how this whole thing goes. Good talking to y'all. And since it was requested the last time there was a live show, man, Travis Kelce.
Yes.
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
I think Josh in the 703 might have been tailgating too much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. He was certainly talking off mic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, but Travis Kelce, man.
That is
I'll tell
true.
you, that's amen
All
to that.
day.
Yeah.
All day. All right. So
Twice on Sundays.
And twice on Sunday. So we award a Sizzler Award to the best email or phone caller of the night. And it's a really deep panel tonight there, Swag Jeff. But so you give the award for the Sizzler for the best email or phone caller. And so who do you have tonight?
Absolutely, man. So we kicked off the Sea of Fans with an amazing email from Paul, and then we got into the voicemails with a call from Josh from the 703. So that was it. So and you know, and on cases like this, I would typically give a Sizzler to everybody, but to not mess up Paul's little stick that we do at the end, the Raiders Fan Radio BRT Sizzler Award tonight goes to Josh in the 703.
Hey!
Sizzler.
Is a Sizzler? That's my favorite. The Willy Wonka guy.
Sizzler.
Yeah, Sizzler. Do you know where that started?
Where did it start?
That started because I had a soundbite from Marshawn Lynch.
Oh,
yeah. From back when,
Yeah.
do you remember this?
Yeah,
From back,
the Buffalo Bills?
No, it's from when he was in high school. And they won the state championship, or not state, but it was whatever what's the region
OAL.
where you all played?
They're separate. They're in the OAL. They're in their own league.
Okay, all right. So they won that league, and he was, and so in the post game interview, they're on the field and they go, "So what are you going to do tonight to celebrate?" And he goes, "I'm taking everybody to Sizzler." And so that's the first one that you hear in the Sizzler thing is Marshawn Lynch,
That's
and then I'm
great.
like, "All right, I gotta," because you know this for those of you that don't know, the Sizzler is like a kind of like a casual steakhousey sort of thing in
buffet,
California.
too. They have
Like
like
a
a-
like a Ponderosa or
it's like
something.
a-
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like a salad bar.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the Sizzler,
Oh, I
man.
miss Sizzler.
Right?
We got nothing like that anymore.
They got the
do
two
we?
Z's with the smoke
Yeah.
coming off of them and everything. Yeah.
Had
All
good
right.
rolls too, if I remember correctly.
Oh my gosh, we started on the rolls.
Oh my gosh.
I got a couple rolls back there.
Hey.
I got a couple rolls right here. Hey,
So, we got Tyler the bread guy's fresh order sitting right over there. There's an acre of carbohydrates right there within arm's distance. I know, right?
My God.
But hey, before we get to the drawing and before we give away this Howie Long jersey, I want to give again respect to Jeff Murphy, Domenico's Italian Deli. Thank you so much for having us in here tonight. Man, this has been great. Appreciate you giving us a spot to do the live show. And you are supporting the One Nation Foundation because you're giving us a platform to be able to do this and to raise money tonight. And so we appreciate you so very, very much. And Swag Jeff, I see you over there. He's scribbling furiously, which means we've got donations coming in. Go ahead and give us one last update, and then let's go ahead and draw for that amazing Howie Long jersey.
Absolutely. Hey, so we had a bunch of people donate real late in the evening, right before we closed it right here. So I've got, and they're still flying.
Woke up.
Someone else talk.
Michelle, call it out there. What we got coming in?
LA Crash Dog just donated $10. It says, Howie is
Thank
the
you.
man.
Thank you.
Coming off Memorial Day, I wanted to say I am humbled by the sacrifice of so many and grateful for them. After 28 years of service myself, every day is Memorial Day.
Much respect.
#USMC. Yeah,
Oh, absolutely. Double dog there. Good deal. Like our buddy Raider Ramon. My dad was a Marine. Your dad was a Marine. Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely. That's awesome. That's
we got
awesome.
Chef B who dropped 20. He says, okay, just want to help out a little more.
Thank you, Chef B.
RNFL, let's go.
Thank you so
Got
much, Chef
20
B.
from Ron, the Mater Raider.
Hey, thank you, Ronathan.
Stacey
I always call him like,
Ron.
Rodriguez. I just come up with like all kinds of different names for Ron. Yeah.
Stacy Ruff dropped 50. Says, what
Yeah, he
size
dropped
is
another
your
50,
jersey?
man.
Ask
Dang,
for a
Stacy.
friend. Yeah. Let me see if I
One
go
less
back.
bottle of Jameson for Stacey
That's
Ruff
right,
this week,
yeah.
but hey.
That's a good cause.
Wait, Clay. Go away. Okay, there we go.
You about want one.
I almost did. It just said Paul. So this must have been during Paul's.
okay.
I think that might be as far back as I can go.
You can click on the actual things too.
Well, there
usually.
you go. Oh, I think that might. That
there you go.
That took me back to Stacy.
Oh, okay.
That was everybody.
We got everybody?
Ron.
All right. Thank you all
we
so
go.
very, very much.
Yep.
Some amazing
Yes.
donations there at the wire. Yeah.
Absolutely, man. So hey, so everyone donated ultimately for the One Nation Foundation, but also for a chance to win this bad boy right there, signed Howie Long jersey.
I got heart eyes.
Oh yeah, you do. Yeah. It's cool,
for
man.
vibrator in that jersey.
Hey.
hey.
In no particular order. Yeah. Hey, so much respect. So I said let's get to $700 before the end of the night. We went over that. We went over that. So tonight for the One Nation Foundation, you Raider Nation raised $740. Hey, much respect. Thank you very, very much. So
salud. Thank you so much.
Absolutely, man. Yeah. Respect for sure. So Michelle has got the official.
Let's give it away, man.
Yeah, official Raiders
get
fan
a bigger
radio.
Bag.
Yeah, we might need to.
Yeah.
Need to.
That's a good problem to have.
Absolutely. So starting. We're gonna start where I'm gonna leave the big donations for the end right there. So Scotland's own David Love, $20 donation.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Jay Morse from Salt City Silver and Black, $10 donation.
Thank you, Jay.
Yeah, Omar Juarez, $10 donation.
Thank you, Omar.
Mike Lynn in Tennessee, $10 donation.
Mike. Thank you, Mike.
Yeah, Kill Jadis with the hashtag #OneChipGang, $10 donation.
Thank you, Kill Jadis.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. Seamus Harrington, $10 donation.
Seamus, thank you, Seamus.
Ron, $20 donation. LA Crash Dog, $10 donation.
Thank you, LA.
Absolutely. J. Will, $50 donation.
Thank you.
Wyoming Raider, $50 donation.
Sweet.
Chef B, $40 donation.
Thank you, Chef B.
Yep. Jason Hunter, $80 donation.
Dang.
Let's see here. Hooligan Nation, $100 donation.
Sweet. Thank you, Hooligan Nation. Amazing.
Stacy Ruff, $100 donation.
Nice.
Big Shane, $100 donation.
Big Shane.
And the leader in the clubhouse, Patricia Moya, with a $120 donation to the One Nation Foundation. So, yeah, like I said, $740 donation tonight.
Amazing.
Absolutely. So, Michelle is shaking this thing up
Shake
over
'em
here.
up, shake 'em up, shake 'em up,
So
shake 'em.
How about you shake it up, and QB Jeff, why don't you come over here and draw it?
Yeah, good call, Jeff.
Yeah.
Good call. Good
Yeah.
call. All right, here we go. They're shaking. So those of you on the audio podcast, Michelle's got her Raider knapsack there, and getting a good mixed up, and then here goes.
Get a good mix in there.
Get a good,
Jeff.
yeah. There's mix, and then show the camera. Don't show it, but then hold it. Yeah. Keep it in camera view. Yeah, there you go. Oh, there you go. Yeah. So QB Jeff.
You got it.
A little bit lower. Yeah. Low. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. Get up. Is it?
I don't know.
Let's see.
It looks like number. Is it 11?
Number 11. That is Hooligan Nation. Much respect. Hooligan Nation, you are the winner of the Howie Long signed jersey certificate of authenticity.
That's awesome.
Much respect, man. Much respect.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
Absolutely.
Hey,
you know what?
Let's give away a couple shirts.
Yeah. Jeff, get back over here, man.
Get over there, Jeff. What are you doing?
What the hell are you doing, man?
Jeez. Sorry, it's my first time. No sitting down, man. You got time to lean. You got time to clean. Let's go.
That's it. All right. So this one is for a Raiders Fan Radio T-shirt.
All right. There we go.
Then
no, if it's the same number, then get rid of it. Yeah.
Dang, way to go, Hooligan.
Wow, jeez, Hooligan Nation.
Don't play the lottery.
All right.
No kidding.
Go to Vegas. Yeah. All right, we go.
All right,
number one.
Big Shane.
Hey,
Big Shane. Send us an email, show@RaidersFanRadio.com, and we will, and your shirt size and address, and we'll send you a shirt.
Absolutely. All right, let's do one more. All right, so Hooligan Nation and Big Shane. Hooligan Nation, of course, winning the Howie Long jersey. Big Shane winning a Raiders Fan Radio T-shirt, and then they almost won again. Wow, back to back.
Both of y'all go to Vegas.
Yep, right now. All right, and okay.
Number
12.
That is Kill Jadis.
One Chip Gang.
The hashtag One Chip Gang has finally paid off for
Oh
our
my
grumpy
gosh.
Raider fan, Kill Jadis. Holy shit.
It's your lucky day.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. That's amazing. And of course, and on your number.
I know.
On your number
Great
12 and of course, and
course.
Stabler and Gannon, and because guess what? Great players can share the same number.
Well, yeah.
What a concept. But
who's number 12 for the
That
Raiders
means
right
Tom
now?
Brady's going to be
Nobody.
playing for the Raiders.
That's going to be
That's what that
Tom
means.
Brady.
That was an
tell you.
omen, I think. With that,
I'm telling you.
Heard it here first.
There we go. All right, Kill Jadis. Make a video of Macho Man Savage talking about that shit.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. TB12. All right, Swag Jeff, shout out the chat one last time, and then take us on out of here. I'm going to hit the outro.
Absolutely, man. Hey, thanks everyone for being here. Let's see. Kill Jadis in there. Tony Shefford in there. Vibrator. Paul. Ron the Mater Raider. Stacy Ruff. He said, I thought I donated 2 times 50. You did. That was a $100 donation. We really appreciate that. Chef B, Seamus Harrington, Chevy Silver Raider in there, Tails by Diesel in there, Paul, Raider Jack. We can't thank you all enough. Thanks for joining us for a live here at Domenico's Deli.
Oh, my gosh.
Here in
There we go. Let's give it up one more
Murfreesboro,
time for
Tennessee.
Domenico's.
Hey, QB Jack.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Where can they find Domenico's on the socials and stuff, Jeff?
Yeah, at Domenico'sDeli.tn is our location here, and then at Domenico's Deli will be the Alameda location. You can find us there, and if you're in either one of the areas, come by and see us. We'll take care of you for a sandwich.
Absolutely, absolutely. Good stuff. All right, Michelle, thank you so much for being here tonight.
Yeah.
This has been awesome to finally get back and do a live show.
Let's go. Yeah, this has been a lot of fun. And thank you guys for donating, because the One Nation Foundation, they win. And that's what you guys, we have a lot of fun, but the One Nation Foundation is really what it's all about. So thank you for all your donations.
Absolutely. What do you got, Murph?
Nothing, brother. Take us home.
All right, man. Hey, thanks everyone for tuning in for another episode of Raiders Fan Radio, where we take a lighter side journey into the dark side. Don't forget, boys and girls, what happens in Vegas, it started in Oakland. We love you guys. Much, much respect. Thank you all very much. We'll be back for a live sometime
next week. Hopefully next week or so.
Whenever Jeff Murphy lets us play at the deli again.
Yeah.
So, hey,
But we'll be on the
respect.
porch.
There you go.
I think we're onto something with the RFR rundown on the porch.
Catch
man.
us on the porch. How about that?
Yeah, that was fun.
You know what I
That was
mean?
fun.
Yeah.
Yes, we'll see you, Raider Nation. We love you guys so very, very much. Thank you.
Much respect.
Thank you so much for what you do for the One Nation Foundation. Above all else, thank you so much.
Yep. Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
Adios, malingerers. Good night, YouTube.
Goodbye.